What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Blazers Uprise Postgame Show powered by BetUS. Today, your Portland Trail Blazers lose massively to the Brooklyn Nets, but there are some good things from this game, Eric, as we head into the middle of January. It's getting closer to tanking season. This was a good loss for that. And this was also a Scoot Masterclass, an Aton Disaster class. Channing Frye watched the game and is on Twitter calling someone out. I'm sure you can guess. And this is a terrific game for narratives. Also, we're going to talk about a mock draft. We're going to do a mock draft. Me, Eric, and our moderator, Aeromancer, we're going to go through a mock draft. We'll see how far into a mock draft we can get before we give up. I think we can get through 60 picks, so that's going to be the second part of the stream. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. But man, this game was something else. Eric, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I think if you've ever not believed in what's called the zone, I think you witnessed it tonight, and you can't deny that it's true. That was the zone Scoot was in, and it's crazy when someone who isn't considered a great shooter is just cashing every shot he throws up there. It's pretty cool. And then the Blazers knew the assignment too and get the loss. Good loss, like you said, for the tank as well. Really best of both worlds there, with Scoot having his best game as a pro and the Blazers getting a loss against a team they're tied with in the lottery standings. And then the only other, I think, major storyline from this game you alluded to is just the flat out quitting of DeAndre Aon. He quit on this team tonight. It's something we're going to have to discuss.
Yeah, man, we're going to save the Aton talk, but, I mean, he is who he is, and I've been screaming about it for forever, and, I mean, hopefully some people that have defended him hopefully they're finally realizing what he is. That's all I'm going to say for now. Of course, we're going to get into it, right, but he just had one of the games that I will always criticize from a player tonight, but Scoot Henderson, man. Scoot Henderson tonight, fun fact, going into this game, his three-point percentage was 29.9%. Scoot Henderson's three-point percentage...
30.
Yeah, sub 30. His three-point percentage now, chat, 34.2%. That is how well he shot today. Scoot Henderson gets the start with Denny Avdia out, drops 25 first-half points, starts 6 for 6 from 3 and 8 for 8 from the field, and funnily enough, Eric, for somebody that's not known for his shooting, this is not the first time he started 6 for 6 from 3 in his career. Of course, he had that game against the Houston Rockets last year.
Mm-hmm.
How much can you read into this being the second time that he's done this before he turns 21? He's the youngest player to drop 39 points. He missed a layup right at the end. He should have been a 40-piece from him. Had 6 assists as well. Terrific shooting night. And, you know, there's been a lot of noise about him lately. Articles calling him the least improved player in the NBA. People on social media calling him one of the biggest disappointments of the season. And I've been on the record saying I don't share those same sentiments, man. Yeah, he's not showing us the third overall pick that we thought he would be when he came into the league, right? But I think the progress, and I've been saying this, I think the progress goes beyond just statistical progress, right? If you look at the stats, you don't see a huge jump, but I've seen some things from him that I've felt encouraged about. And, you know, this one game doesn't prove anything right, anything wrong. It's a one-game sample, but it's a really good game to see from him, man. Like, he's capable of having shooting nights like this. And there were some threes that he hit that were, like, encouraging for me. You know, that one, especially late, going left off the screen where he pulled up fluidly and cashed in a three. And it looked like Dame. It looked like Ant. You know, it looked like one of those lead guards that shoot threes off the screen, man. It looked fluid, and his shot looks good to me, man. Like, I know it's not necessarily the most orthodox form, right? But I think it's smooth, it's fluid. He was shooting it with a good rhythm today and cashing in these shots, man. And I feel so good about being patient about him. I know a lot of people have quit on him. I know a lot of people have called him a bust. I know a lot of people think he will never be a good 3-point shooter, never be this, never be that. But man, he's still 20 years old and he's capable of a performance like this. It's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, having a game like this is better than if he would have laid an egg tonight. And it's good because he's had some rough performances of late, and so yeah, it was really cool to see him come out. And what I liked is he hasn't started much this season. We've talked about this before about him coming off the bench versus starting, whether that should be the case moving forward or not. But I like when you get your opportunity and you come in and you're aggressive right off the jump. And the first time he touches the ball, I think he ends up with a dunk. And I just felt like from that moment, he had a different level of aggression, like he was going to take over a game. And that's kind of what I've been waiting to see from him, is just that that play where he realizes he can or does have the ability to take over a game like that. And so yeah, it was cool to see him come out that way. And of course he's not going to shoot this well, like rarely. So like it's not necessarily like you're going to count on him to score this many points or anything, but I just liked how throughout the game he kept the aggression up, and it was relentless. And when you have a player that has some physicality to him, he has developing handles, he has the change of speed now, and we know he has the high end speed. When you just keep attacking, and you're relentless with that, it does start to wear on teams. And of course, it doesn't result in a victory tonight because several other players didn't help him out. But yeah, it was cool to see him just having that game where he showed he could be like the guy on a team if he's making shots, and he definitely made those tonight.
Yeah, do you remember when we had a conversation earlier in the season on a post-game show? Chat, let me know if you remember this, where I kind of went in on the mental side of shooting and confidence and how he just needs to automatically decide to shoot in certain situations where he's open, right? Defender goes under a screen, automatically shoot, okay? You come off a screen and you're dribbling left and there's no defense there at the three-point line, shoot, right? He had one of those late in this game where he just shot it with confidence. And you've seen a couple of games where he shoots the three ball well, and it seems to be like, man, he just shoots it with confidence. And there's other games where he's kind of like jittery at the 3-point line, will like hesitate, stutter step, even though he's wide open, and seems like he doesn't really want to shoot an open three. And I think it's an obvious difference at this point. Like when he's shooting confidently, he's I think a decent 3-point shooter. I think some of his biggest struggles are just because like he's not fully confident in his shot, or like not looking to shoot when he's open. And that's why I said earlier in the season, every time he's wide open from three, he needs to shoot and live with the results. And he needs to make shots confidently and miss shots confidently as well. Steph Curry goes 0 for 10 from three. It doesn't faze him, right? He's shooting the next one as confident as he shot the first one, right? Like he goes 0 for 10 and it's like, oh, he's bound to make one. He's due to make one. You almost feel like the next one's going to go in because he's missed so many, right? That's how the good shooters operate. That's how the greatest shooters operate, right? And you're only going to become a good to great 3-point shooter if you have the mindset, right? It takes a lot of work too, and there's a touch element to it, repeatable form, like there's elements to it, but a huge part of shooting is the mental side of shooting the basketball. And this game is a perfect example of why I went in on that post-game show on the mental side of shooting, because it's just you've seen him have 2 games so far in his career where he's started 6 for 6 from 3. That's not normal. Like, has Ant ever started 6 for 6 from 3? Has Sharp's never gone 6 for 6 from 3? You know what I mean? Like, that's not normal. That's not normal. And he goes on these heaters. I mean, but there's other games where you can look at where he's like 3 for 4 from 3, 3 for 5, right? Like where he just starts off really well. Maybe he has a really good shooting first half and then doesn't maintain his level of confidence in the second half, right? So for me, this game is a really good sign because I just feel like at some point he'll find that level of confidence he needs as a shooter and he'll be more consistent. Now, he's still going to have some rough shooting nights. I don't just expect him to now all of a sudden be a 35% three-point shooter, but I do think that his form is not something that should hold him back from being an average three-point shooter. I think one of the things, and this was a comment in chat, one of the things that's maybe held him back is like his footwork coming off screens and just his pull-up three, right? Like not having the right rhythm on it, the right footwork. And somebody in chat earlier today, sorry, I forgot your name, but said like his footwork looks cleaner, more consistent on some of his pull-up threes. And that was a improvement point for him coming into the season, right? It's something that I pointed out. When you see players go left off screens and pull up from the three-point line, it's right-left footwork, and they're quick into it, and they're fluid into it, and they're going up. Whereas last season, when he would come off screens going left, he would come off, be open, stop, and then step in with his outside foot first. It wouldn't be like he's running into the three or it's fluid into his shot. It would be come off left, stop, so you can step in left, right. And, you're starting to see some flashes of him properly pulling up from three. Now, he's still got to get used to shooting these shots at the NBA level in games, so I'm not expecting it to be something like all of a sudden he's Anthony Simons pulling up from three, right? It's a work in progress. But when you're talking about a 20-year-old player that struggled so far in his career, you're just looking for improvement. And it's obvious improvement when he goes 8 for 10 from three, but I think the little thing within that is like, man, like some of the footwork on his shots today, just how he was able to that pull-up three, man, like that just really sticks out to me because that was a big talking point for me going into the season for him was like, you got to be able to run, sprint into that pull-up three and knock it down. That was the best pull-up three I've ever seen him shoot late in this game. So, it's cool stuff to see, man, and it's why I've been patient with Scoot because if he can figure out how to be an average shooter, it's just going to be easier for him to drive. And he's been better driving. It's still a work in progress, but it's like the rest of the game becomes easier when you can shoot. The defense has been better lately. Like, you're seeing signs of improvement, and that's why it kind of drives me crazy seeing these articles, seeing all these people that are just disappointed because he's not consistently dropping 30 in 10 games, right? Like, they're still operating based off his expectations coming into the league. But I think given where he was a year ago, he's definitely improved. He's still young. He's still 20. You can still be patient with him. So this game was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and so I just lost it, darn it. So Port Blazer Fool in chat says physicality question mark. He doesn't know how to use his body or strength. His physicality and athleticism was oversold. Okay, like, yeah, obviously he hasn't used it well in his career, but did you watch the game tonight? I thought he did use it well. Like, I don't know. Like, that was my point of this game. He seemed to use it a little better, and he gets the line 8 times. And we've talked about how drastic his games are when he gets the line versus when he doesn't. And I thought tonight he did a good job with it. It doesn't mean he's arrived or anything. It doesn't mean that he's figured out how to use it. I just didn't think it was an issue tonight in this game, and that's encouraging to me that it wasn't if he can learn how to do that more consistently. But yeah, absolutely, I agree. He has had those issues as a pro, but like I don't understand bringing that up right.
Yeah, and like here's the thing with that take, man, is of course he's going to look less athletic and not be able to physically impose his will at the NBA level compared to the G League level. Of course. That's the thing, man. Like I feel like too many people that don't pay enough attention to scouting prospects, all right? And if this is you, guess what? You can get better with this, all right? So this is a little heart-to-heart, right? There's people that don't pay enough attention to scouting, and they just pay attention to who gets the hype and the highlights. So they'll watch highlights, and other people will be hyping up Scoot like, oh, he's so athletic. And then they'll watch highlights and be like, oh, look how athletic he is. And then he gets into the NBA and he doesn't look the same as an athlete. And it's like, oh, he's not actually that athletic. That got oversold. It's like, no, he's physically capable of doing what he did in the G League. Like, it's not like he lost athleticism. It's not like him cocking back a tomahawk on a defender is something that all of a sudden he can't do now. It's just the big man is going to be a little quicker, a little bit more athletic, and probably not get beat off the dribble the same way, right? And also in the NBA, man, it's the best league in the world, right? So you got to be able to learn how to use that athleticism, where at lower levels, you can just... defenses will give you a runway, and you're so much quicker and more athletic than everybody else on the floor that you can just rely upon that. And I think that's why Scoot really struggled coming into the league, is he tried to rely upon that. You can't rely upon it in the same way, and it's going to look totally different. So then people just act like, oh, he's not actually athletic. Oh, his athleticism was so oversold. No, it's his game translating to the next level, and that's what scouting is really about, is figuring out how certain players' games translate to the next level. There's players that will dominate college like a Luka Garza, right? But his game doesn't translate to the NBA level. There's some guys that are role players in college, come into the league, and they're like the same exact type of role player in the league, and they're a good player. You know, Duncan Robinson is a perfect example, where he plays basically exactly the same role he did at Michigan. He wasn't that good at Michigan, went undrafted because of it, but comes into the league, and basically he can shoot the ball, and he's big, right? So he has a role. His game translates directly to the NBA. So that's where you Scoot, man. It's like he has to learn how to use his athleticism. He has to learn a lot of technique stuff that he didn't know. And some of it is like how he pulls up from three, you know, making sure he's balanced when he shoots off the dribble from three, making sure he's not fading, right? Being able to bump a defender and then shoot a little mid-range pull-up like he did in this game. And it's like, that's a physical play. That's him imposing his will on a defender, bumping a defender, creating some space and hitting a mid-range pull-up. But it's almost like, oh, he has to run through everybody like a running back to be physical, is how I feel like some people look at it. So that's just where I don't really like that take, because I just don't think that's really how it works.
To be fair, though, we talk a lot about the difference between being athletic and functionally athletic in the NBA when it comes to scouting and prospects and stuff like that. And so far, Scoot has been much more leaning towards the player that has athleticism but doesn't know how to use it versus someone who has the right type of athleticism to help him in the NBA. Now, is that something that can change? Absolutely. And this game is a positive step, or maybe like a sign of what could be if he ever figures that out. But I do agree that he hasn't used his athleticism well, even if it's not as good as was once promised or whatever. Like, he has not done a good job of using his athleticism to benefit him in the pros so far.
But that doesn't mean his athleticism was oversold. That just means he has to learn the nuances of the game, and you're not just able to get away with some of the things you can get away with athletically at a lower level, right? Like people will bring up Jaw, man, but Jaw is a better athlete than Scoot. Like, I would have said that before Scoot got drafted. Well, I don't think anybody was sitting here saying Scoot's a better athlete than Jaw, right? So Jaw can rely upon it a little bit more, but it's like, all right, he also has a lot of nuance to his game, right? He spent 2 years in college too, if I recall correctly. So, you know, his rookie year, it's like, was what Scoot is this year. You know, he's the same age. So I just think, like, the whole athleticism conversation kind of drives me crazy, because you're not going to be able to get away with as much. And also, Scoot's showing flashes of, like, figuring out how to be effective without having to rely upon his athleticism. That's where I'm encouraged with the improvement.
Yeah, I guess. I disagree that he wasn't sold as being a super athletic guy. He absolutely was.
I mean, that's how I still think he's super athletic. I just think there's a difference between being super athletic and knowing how to use your athleticism.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think it's like, if you get too caught up on, oh, he was sold as a super athlete, it's like, okay, well, when you're 6'2", You're not able to just rely upon your athleticism when you get to the league. So doesn't really matter that he was super athletic coming into the league. There's going to be some struggles there. So,
Yeah. But if he's not as athletic as even obviously Amen Thompson's another extreme example,
I mean, he's
who's
also
actually
6'7", right?
yeah. But what I'm saying is, so he's shorter. He's not as athletic as those guys. So what?
I mean,
What
Amen
makes
is
you
like a
think that?
0.01% athlete. He's like maybe the most
No, I
athletic
know.
guy in the league.
I'm just
It's
saying,
not a fair
like,
comparison.
but if you agree that his athleticism isn't amongst like the top athletes in the NBA, even the smaller point guard ones, and he's shorter than most people who have athleticism, like, what gives you hope that that won't always be an issue then?
Why wouldn't he rephrase your question in a way that I don't really understand the context of your question? Why won't his athleticism ever improve?
Okay, so like he's not as athletic as Ja, right?
Correct.
Okay, and he's not. Ja's probably a little bigger than him, or like taller. I don't know.
Josh like
Is
6'2",
Ja
and
about the
skinnier.
same size?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
like the same height and he's
about
skinnier.
the same size. Okay,
I think
so
Scoot's
like,
listed as 6'3", and Josh listed as 6'2".
so like, what kind of player do you think Scoot could be then if he's not like a Ja or like Westbrook level athlete? Um,
A 3-level
well,
scorer that can really pass and
okay.
has like really good athleticism. That might not be the 0.1% of guys in the league, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good trait. You know what I mean? It's like we're sitting here comparing him to the best athletes in the league for a reason, right? It's like, oh, he's not the best athlete in the league. Okay, yeah, but he's still a really good freaking athlete. So that's the thing is when people say, oh, his athleticism was undersold, there's people that act like he's not athletic, which just doesn't make any sense to me. Does not make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm. What? CP3, that's like a horrible comparison.
Yeah. So,
Oh, all right, your poll ended. Who won?
yeah, Scoot. I mean, we were gonna put other people in that poll, of course. Yeah, sorry.
Scoot, Double O, and Scooter. And Scooter finished last. Because you didn't put Scooter.
Scoot, maybe Scoot would have
Scooter. Yeah. Jeez, man.
Yeah. I'll have to get the backstory on your last chat message because I don't understand it, but
What?
oh, Hail Blazers, but anyway. Sorry, I'm just catching up with chat. Chat, what do you think? What do you think of this performance tonight from Scoot Henderson? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know how you feel about him, right? Like, one game shouldn't change how you feel about him. But for me, man, it's like, I don't know. I'm just tired of the people that obviously are not watching him and then just looking at a box score and sitting here saying, he's so disappointing. How can you be that disappointed if you're not even watching him? You know? Oh, he's one of the least improved. It's like, if you're not watching him game in and game out, how do you know? Like, anybody can look at stats and say, oh, the stats aren't better. Like, okay, but you're going to make that into a piece of content? All right. Cool. You know, it's just pointless to me. Just pointless to me. I also think, like, to the whole confidence conversation, it seemed like Scoot was playing more free under Bjorkgren, right? And he had 2 good games. And then he starts tonight and is super aggressive from the jump. I don't know, man. I still just wonder, like, better coach that makes things a little easier on him. A little better shooters around him. And if he starts, I feel like he could look a lot better. That's just a gut feeling. But then it's like, oh, look, he starts tonight and has 25 in the first half and makes his first 8 shots. Like, not that that proves that he would be better if he starts. It's just the whole confidence thing and giving him the keys. We saw him play really well once he kind of got the keys late last year. I think at some point the Blazers are just going to have to give him the keys. Like, I think they got to give him the keys and see what they have because I think you have enough when he starts. He's had some rough games too, but it's just for me, it's about If he's confident in his shot, he's going to make more threes. That's the case for any shooter, but it seems to be the case for Scoot because he's streaky. And if he makes threes, the dribble drive stuff becomes easier. Then he doesn't have to rely upon having a blazing first step to beat his defender off the dribble, right? And the pace stuff is improving. The in-between game has shown some flashes of improvement. He's a good lob thrower, right? Good kick out, makes good kick out passes, is playing under more control when he's able to drive. So just
one thing
the pieces putting those together is what I want to see.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
One thing that he has been doing better lately is his crossover is creating some space, and it's getting some guys, especially the right to left one. It's getting people to bite a little bit to the right, and he is getting a driving lane because of it. And if he can continue improving his handles and tightening those up, he did have several drives where he just like lost the ball again this game or just got it taken right from him. But it is encouraging to see him create that little bit of space.
Yeah.
As Eric Wilson says, finally some shake. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah,
and I talked about that last game. You know, he was getting guys on that crossover and getting baseline drives and then not going up strong when I felt like he could have, right? But also, he's not really used to shaking defenders like that at the NBA level yet, you know? But you can definitely tell he's improving his ball handling. He's definitely playing sharper with his dribble. So, but that's the thing where it's like, if that doesn't show up in the stat sheet and somebody writing an article isn't watching him consistently, they're not going to notice that. So they're going to sit there and say, he's not improving. But it's like, everything's a puzzle. You got to improve the pieces to the puzzle, right? It may not be a coherent picture yet, even as you put some of the pieces together. But at the end of the day, you put all the pieces together, you got yourself a pretty picture. So that's kind of just how I view Scoot Henderson right now. The ball handling is improving. Hopefully the three-point shot is improving. I mean, I just think like a lot of it seems to be a confidence thing with him. The pace and that sort of stuff is improving. The defense is improving, right? He still has some bad turnovers, but I think like his turnovers aren't necessarily quite as bad, and those have improved statistically. So yeah, I mean, like those are a lot of pieces that are improving. And that's why I hate the whole he's not improving because his stats aren't better. Because it's just casual.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say whether those people are watching games. You can watch sped up games now and stuff. Like, I don't know.
But like for me, man, it's like you can kind of tell when you read it. In my opinion, you can kind of tell when you read it if somebody's like really watching a player or not. But I don't know. Maybe they are. I just like if they are, I don't really understand like the way it's written, the way it's talked about. If you're watching this dude game in, game out, and you don't think he's like improving at anything, it's just baffling to me. Because I don't know. Like we're not watching the same game.
Improving at anything is a bit extreme, but like I do understand how.
I mean, you're calling him the least improved player in the league. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. I just don't get like. There's so many players that are playing worse than they did last year. How is he one of the least improved players in the league? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to point to after this game and say that though, but like,
but I was doing that before.
I know, but it was hard. It's harder to argue prior to this game that was necessarily incorrect. Yeah. But like, yeah.
I mean, I'll go down on the Scoot train, man. I have planted my flag. You know, I'm ride or die at this point. I just think he's 20. He's 20. He just deserves some patience, man. And it's not like you can look at the coach and say like, yeah, he's giving him a really good opportunity and doing everything he can to develop him. And you know what I mean? And it's not like you can't point to this team as somewhat dysfunctional. And this rebuilding process is definitely a little bit dysfunctional. And he's stuck behind guys that are ball dominant coming off the bench. Like, so I don't think the situation has been the best for him. Hopefully it'll improve. Because you got to get rid of some vets. You have to get rid of some vets at some point in this rebuild. One of the vets you got to get rid of. Are you happy with the Scoot conversation? Do you want to touch on him a little bit more, or do you want to move on to the other side of the coin.
We could talk about other ones.
Well, we got to talk about Ayton, right?
Yeah.
So, Channing Frye, all right, had a tweet. Okay, I was going to put it on the screen, but it has a curse word in it. And we don't curse over here. We are very family friendly. You can watch us with your sons, daughters, wives, grandmothers. Doesn't matter. We're family friendly. But, what's up?
Putting it on the screen isn't the same as cursing out loud, like I did last postgame.
True, but you could have a little, 5-year-old learning how to read, right? Like, you don't want them to read that word.
They should be all in bed because they got school tomorrow.
True, but I don't know. We're family friendly. Why are you trying to get me to be less family friendly? All jokes aside, okay, I'll read it off. Do you want me to say the word? The magic F word.
No, you can just say it.
F-U-C-K, okay, that F word. Channing Frye tweeted out 2 hours ago, all right, so in the middle of the Blazer game, he said, I'm watching the Blazer game, and it is gross watching a certain player absolutely F off his minutes is unreal. Please stop playing this person, Trailblazers. Oh, but Tori, you just hate on Ayton just because you don't like him. For no reason, you just don't like him. You hate on him too much. Be nicer. It's nice that other people see it, Do you feel that way? Because I don't know. I get so much heat for the criticism I give DeAndre Aon that it's nice to see Channing Frye say the same exact stuff and see the same exact stuff. Because it's obvious. This dude freaking quits, man. This dude freaking quits. This dude doesn't act like he wants to be here when he plays. There was somebody in our group chat. Okay, let me find. All right, there's just somebody from my group chat, okay? So read into it what you want, all right? Maybe they made it up. But, somebody said, I had a friend at the game telling me the coaches were yelling expletives at Ayton in the third quarter for not boxing out, and he just shrugged at them. That's the Ayton experience, though, right?
We have another person in chat, Tori Hugo, saying, I was at the game. I saw Ayton give up an easy bucket and Chauncey call a timeout. He yelled at Ayton, and Ayton didn't listen to him at all.
He is... I don't even... somebody in chat said this rant is going to be epic. I don't even know where to begin. I've had this rant so many freaking times. I mean... the thing I'm most baffled about is how some people don't see it. Don't see what he is.
Yeah.
He's the same guy that said success is making it to his second contract. He's the same guy that said I'm a max player so I have nothing to prove. That's what he is. He's not a dog. He's not a hustle guy. He's not a good vet to have. I mean, Chauncey already had to bench him this year and sit there in the post-game press conferences and say, yeah, I just didn't like his spirit. Okay? He is... Dude, he's just collecting a paycheck. He quit on Phoenix when they had a contender. He didn't want to be there. He doesn't care about winning, or else why did he want to leave Phoenix? And the whole thing that Blazer fans tried to say was well, it wasn't the best situation for him. Maybe we can fix him, and he just needs a fresh start. Sometimes people just need a fresh start, okay? So we can be that fresh start for Ayton, and we can get him right, and we can, prove why he was the first overall pick taken ahead of Luka Doncic and Trae Young, right? There's a lot of narratives around that right when the Blazers got him. And I sat there yeah, hopefully they can figure something out with him. But to me, he had already proven who he was in Phoenix. He had proven who he was. Guys like that don't just magically change in a new situation if they're pouty and moody and don't play with heart, don't play with freaking competitive pride. If you're not going to play for the team name on the front of your jersey, at least play for the freaking last name on the back of your jersey, right? Even if I didn't care about my team, I wouldn't want, as an NBA player, to embarrass myself doing the crap that he does on the court and having Channing Frye tweet about how I'm effing off my minutes. Have a level of pride in yourself as a competitor. I've said that so many freaking times about DeAndre Aon, but he doesn't. He just simply does not. He simply doesn't have a competitive edge, and he doesn't have a work ethic, and that's why he hasn't improved in 4 or 5 years. But when the Blazers got him, what were Blazer fans saying? Oh, he's still so young, still has so much potential. It's like, I don't care how young you are, how much potential you have as a basketball player. If you haven't improved from the age of 21 to the age of 24, why are you going to start improving now? Because to me, it's like, when you're that young and as physically gifted as Ayton is, if you're working hard, you are going to improve from the age of 21 to 24. It was such a massive red flag that he showed basically no improvement over that time. But Blazer fans tried to tell me, oh, I'm just being too negative because I don't think he's going to magically start improving. Guess what? He doesn't have a work ethic. In Phoenix, they're just talking about how he would stay up all night the day before games playing video games and like be tired on game day because he stayed up all night playing video games. And I've heard like people talking about that in freaking Portland now. He's not a competitor. He doesn't care. His effort is atrocious far too often. But yet, because he can make some freaking mid-range shots as an athletic big, there's Blazer fans out there that'll act like he's something. He got his max contract. He won at life. He's achieved everything he apparently wants to achieve. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic, man. So, screw him. I'm done with him. I've been done with him, but just screw off. Freaking trade him, please. You're not going to get anything for him, though, because other teams are seeing this, and it's like, all right, you didn't want to stay in Phoenix. You got your fresh start. You're doing the same exact crap. It's the same exact issues in Portland as it was in Phoenix. So why is a winning team, going to sit there and be like, yeah, you know what? We need to win in the playoffs. We need somebody we can rely upon. Let's go get the guy that quit on Phoenix, a winning team, and Portland, a rebuilding team. Let's just go get the guy that quits. That'll help us. That's the guy we can rely on in the playoffs. The guy that doesn't play defense, the guy that doesn't box out, the guy that doesn't listen to coaching, isn't coachable, doesn't work. Yeah, that's a winning player. BS. I'm getting to the point where like the Blazers are going to have to attach an asset to get rid of him. And honestly, I don't even know if they attach the 2029 first round pick, that's the worst of Boston, Milwaukee, and Portland to get off Ayton. It would suck, but also I'd be like, oh, thank goodness. Okay, fine, you had to do it, right? At least you got Kamara in that trade. At least you got Kamara. And it's funny because I don't know if you remember the stream when we traded Dame, and I was like, they get Ayton, and then I didn't realize that Kamara was in the trade, and then I saw Kamara's name in the trade, and I was like, oh, wait, they got Kamara too? Like, ooh, that's a low-key good pickup. I forget exactly what I said, but like, I was super excited for Kamara, and I was like, okay, we'll see what Ayton can do. Kamara is the saving grace from the Phoenix side of that freaking trade. Phoenix had to attach Kamara to Ayton, though, after Kamara looked really good in Summer League, in order to get back Nurkic, Little, Keon Johnson, who right now looks better than Little and Nurkic, funny enough. He had a good game today. And Grayson Allen, like, for Ayton. So, travesty. I'm freaking tired of it. We got Gabe in the chat. Gabe, I hope you're appreciating this. Eric, your thoughts?
Well, one, I agree with several people in chat who said I would rather just cut him and eat his contract than trade him, even with that extra year. I think that's better than using a first.
Can you? The question is, if you traded Anthony, well, maybe not even Anthony, but if you traded Grant, Thibault, Robert Williams, got expiring contracts, right? If that's the plan, and then you were able to attach that worst of three teams, 2029 first to Ayton for an expiring contract with the resulting cap space allow you to accumulate an asset to get a better first-round pick in the future. Yeah,
of course, but I don't have any confidence that Cronin's going to pull off a trade for all those guys for expiring, so yeah. I don't have any faith in that. I mean, yes, if those dominoes fell first, that's a different story maybe. But it just as of right now, if we're just trying to get rid of him, I don't think I'm trading a first to do it if that's what it takes. And maybe we'll get lucky and he won't have to, just simply because he's not more than a year and a half commitment for any team trading for him. But yeah, it's pretty rough. And I want to read off Chris S. Member for 47 months message. his next message will be his 4-year anniversary. So
Nice.
congrats to him. But all-time tank commander performance from Ayton, total garbage on both ends. Big loss. Well done, DA. Is he even getting another NBA contract? Um, I mean, if he wants to, I'm sure someone will.
If he
But like,
wants to.
but well,
Yeah.
honestly though, okay, he's the type of player who, at best, is probably going to get like the MLE in this new CBA, right? And unless the team that ends up with him before this contract is over is really stupid and pays him like 20 some million or something, but let's just say he becomes a free agent.
Yeah.
He's not getting more than the mid-level
Yeah.
exception, right?
Yeah.
And even that to a guy like Ayton seems like I'm above that, you know?
Yeah.
So like he might hold out for better offers. Those offers will never come.
He's gonna have to
If
humble himself.
if no one even offers him a mid-level exception, if it's like the tax mid-level or like a minimum contract type situation, yeah, there's no way. I don't think he's being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play a year and show you guys the real DeAndre Ayton and all that stuff. There's no chance a guy like that does that. So
You want to know what's wild?
what's
Like,
that?
I could see him being happy going to the EuroLeague where he could just, like,
Yeah,
have every shot available and, like, be the star he wants to be and be celebrated. I could see him enjoying that more than he's apparently enjoying this situation in Portland right now.
mm-hmm.
But I just... Is there anybody in chat still holding out hope for Ayton? The funny thing is, like, we used to have people that would, like, come in here regularly and, like, watch the stream and donate, and then, like, couldn't watch us anymore. Stop watching us, stop coming in chat because of our Ayton opinions. I will welcome those people back, and I'll say, I'm sorry I'm sorry he tricked you. I'm sorry. I understand. He tricked you. Tried to warn you. It happened. Move on like the Blazers should move on. You know, it's a travesty, man. It's a travesty. So the Ayton experiment is over. I agree. Move on.
Arrow says Aiden did have a stretch of games last year where he genuinely impacted winning. We won 21 games last year. How did he genuinely impact winning? Like, I'm sorry, man, but like, yes, he had a good stretch last year.
We
There's
have a
no
better
denying that.
record this year without him than with him. I don't know what it is now, but it was like, remember, it was like 4-13 with him and 4-4 without him. This team sucks and he makes it worse, and he's paid a max. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this. I mean, we've talked about this obviously with Ayton too, but you know, last year I brought up several times where I thought Scoot was just giving up after a turnover or something. There was a play tonight. I already talked to you about the story, but for everyone in chat, Anthony Simons tried to throw Ayton a lob. It got picked off. It didn't get to Ayton. And Ayton literally just stands there and watches everyone run down the court. And by the time the camera goes off him, he has barely even turned around and started running everyone else's past half court. And they go down the court. Everyone goes and grabs their man, except for DeAndre Ayton isn't even past half court yet. And there's his guy, Day'Ron Sharpe, wide open, streaking to the basket for an easy dunk because DeAndre Ayton doesn't even hustle back. And stuff like that is just I cannot ever give anyone a pass when you play like that. And it's just
Yeah, like
it's just crazy,
he tried
man.
to get you the ball. Why are you quitting?
Right. Yeah.
Like, okay, so this is still really bad and pisses me off, but like if you turn over the ball and you want to be in your feelings and pout about it, at least you have a reason to pout. You know what I mean? Like,
or maybe if you feel you got fouled or something, you turn to the ref, and that's the reason you don't walk around. But he was just literally
like,
just standing there pouting.
But it's like he's doing it because Ant tried to get him the freaking ball. Like, all right, bro. Like, you freaking bum, man. Oh God, he makes me so freaking mad. Like, nothing really makes me mad this year outside of that, because the fans pay their hard-earned money to go watch this crappy freaking product on the floor, right? At least they have something to get excited about on a day like tonight, because Scoot Henderson is going off from three. And where's a lot of that money being funneled to? DeAndre Ayton's pocketbook, or maybe the PlayStation store. I don't know, Apparently he lives in Vancouver, which is crazy. It makes me feel ashamed for my hometown. But Port Blazerfool said, a realtor friend of mine mentioned he bought a 14... Oh, I'm getting a Charlie horse. Ooh. Dang, I'm getting a Charlie horse. All right, hold on.
You all right, bro?
I played basketball today.
Yeah,
Hamstring.
basketball,
It's not too bad. Okay, calves are worse. I played basketball harder than DeAndre Ayton today, and now I'm getting Charlie horses on the post-game show while I talk about how DeAndre Ayton did not play hard today. This is where we're at. But
my third and fourth grade girls team that I coached practiced harder than DeAndre Ayton played in it.
Yeah. Connor says, getting what? You don't know what a Charlie horse is? I bet TA ain't getting any Charlie horses tonight.
No.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a dude who slept on an air mattress for half the season last year when he's making $30 freaking million a year. Like, how are you not... That's a red flag as a human being, bro. Like, it's never personal with, like, critiquing players, right? We're critiquing their basketball. But I gotta be honest, if you're making $30 million a year and you're sleeping on an air mattress for months, what are you doing? You can't go to freaking Mattress Firm or Mattress World or whatever money laundering mattress store is out there and that actually has mattresses that they probably sell like one a week. So they got all these freaking mattresses just sitting in there. You can't go in there and buy one, man. Like, oh, maybe it's not long enough for your 7-foot body. Buy two and put them freaking end to end in your Vancouver waterfront mansion. You should have enough room in there to put two beds end to end and freaking sleep. I just, that's a red flag as a person, man. So, yeah.
No, man, it's not a huge list, but you give up on the team, making it personal is fair game in my mind.
Yeah.
And so DeAndre Ayton, in my opinion, is there with Raymond Felton and Gary Payton II.
Yeah.
He's as people who had just flat out quit on their team, and it's just a disgrace to watch. It's frustrating. It should be frustrating to people who are watching someone who could dominate this league and could be a physical force, does have the traits that everyone who believed in him, they're in there. He just doesn't care. He just does not care. And it's pathetic, man. Dude, I think it absolutely is okay to not like having him on your team when he gives up on the team. Like, fans pay money to watch this team, and we've been absolute crap for 4 years now. Like we deserve better than to watch what he did on the court. And Chris S. mentioned this earlier, that in the third quarter especially, he thought DeAndre Ayton gave up on the team. Numerous people now that have went to the game tonight. I haven't seen my mom comment on it in chat, but I'm sure she has an opinion on it. We've heard from numerous people now that went to the game tonight that said it was noticeable in the arena and that he didn't give an F about it. And so, and he couldn't be bothered. Yeah. So, that to me as a fan, not only as a competitor just thinking like, man, if I was a 7-foot athletic player like that and could do the things he could do, how I would not squander it. And I'm sure like most of you feel the same way. Like you're given a lottery ticket, and you don't really care.
Yeah.
Like uh, that's great for you. You got your money, whatever. I'm happy for you, but like we don't also have to then root for you to play like this. So I'm out on Aiton. Like you and I have never really been both be in on Aiton, so it's not that big of a leap to say that. But like, it's just, man, Blazers in particular. This is a city that has I mean, sorry, I'm not discrediting the Timbers here, but the Blazers are or have been for a long time the main thing in this area. Like we deserve players on the team, and for the most part, I think we get that. Um, and like I said, I mentioned 3 players that I could think of off the top of my head that in 55 years or whatever the Blazers have been around. I guess that's not that many players, but like when it does happen, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. And I want this guy off my team so bad.
Yeah, it is fair game because fans pay their hard-earned money to watch this crappy product, and a lot of it is funneled into his pockets so that he can sleep on an air mattress. Where's that money going, bro? Other than to the Vancouver waterfront house, which is wild because I wonder if, yeah, I don't know. But shout out to him for knowing which town is better, by the way. I'm just kidding. But at the end of the day, fans pay their money. He gets a lot of that money. And then quits on the team and quits on the fans that pay him. It should be insulting to a fan. Should absolutely be insulting to a fan.
Hunter says Hassan Whiteside's effort was abysmal too, but at least he was funny. I disagree.
It wasn't like this.
I think Whiteside tried hard. I mean, dude, that guy averaged like 15 rebounds a game and like three blocks or something. Like he brought it on the court. He wasn't the smartest at like knowing when to block shots, and he was always out of position and stuff. But it wasn't just because he didn't care or he like gave up on the team. He didn't have the highest basketball IQ, and that was fine. Like at least he played hard. I mean, obviously you don't want a player like that on your team if you're trying to win. But I didn't really think he gave up on the team or anything.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. I agree with that. So I don't know, man. Like we've had guys that come through that have some questionable moments, but effort-wise, but I feel like it hasn't been for long enough to get this bad. With no resolution in sight. Like we had the GP2 crap, but he barely played.
Yeah.
The big problem with GP2 was he was GP 2 weeks. He barely played for us, and then we trade him, right? You have, Raymond Felton. How I forget, was it a full season or did he get moved at the deadline? I don't remember.
No, it was one season.
Yeah, one full season. We get rid of him. DeAndre Aon has been here more than a season, right? You had Norman Powell had some issues, but it wasn't like this. It was not like this. The thing is like Ayton makes Norman Powell's effort issues before he got traded like pale in comparison. Now it's like, man, maybe Norm wasn't that bad. That's how bad Ayton's been, man. So the quick report about the tantrums and tardiness or whatever last year was true. I heard about that like 2 months before that Quick article. And then Blazer fans flamed Quick, and it was like, all right, he's telling the truth, man. Maybe he's being a little abrasive in the way he's wording it, but it is the truth. And I sat here on postgame shows like, yeah, maybe he could have worded it better as somebody that has, the platform he has, writes the way he has, and isn't known for just like telling it like it is, like we do, maybe. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he's telling the truth. And that's the thing. I saw that article. I saw people like saying, "Oh, he's making it up. He's making it up," and I'm sitting there laughing because I literally heard about it 2 months beforehand. So, is what it is. I would not be surprised if at some point the Blazers pull what the Suns are pulling with Yusuf Nurkic, and they just like bench Ayton or not have him around the team and say like, we're trying, basically we're trying to trade him and we're not playing him. Because it's not like him playing is going to help them trade that contract. And it's not like having him on the court is helping them with their rebuild or even helping them win games. It's not helping them develop players, and it's not helping them be better. It's not helping a single thing by playing this dude. If I was the Blazers, if I was the owner, okay, if I was Jody Allen, well, Jody Allen doesn't care, but let's just say I'm the owner. I'm going to the front office, I'm going to the coaching staff and say, like, we just need to sit this dude. This dude should not be around the team. Get rid of him. Sit him until you can trade him. If you have to wait until the offseason, you wait until the offseason. You do what the Clippers have done with PJ Tucker. That is the only thing, that is becoming the only thing they can do. Because it's getting worse and worse and worse, and it's becoming obvious, and you got people like Channing Frye tweeting about it. So there is no salvaging this situation. Ayton doesn't care enough to salvage this situation. You have to send him away from the team.
Yeah. Did you see who retweeted that Channing Frye tweet?
Who?
Jason Clay.
See, I like that you got some people that have covered this team that will call it like it is. And in the past, I've talked about some people that really don't do a good job of calling it like it is. But sit there and say, I talk to people in the league. All right, well, anybody that covers this team should be pointing out how it's a travesty what DeAndre Aon is doing right now. Anybody that covers this team should be able to call it like it is. But we'll always lead the way there when players pull this crap. If players pull this crap, we'll lead the way. It's just, yeah, it's funny. Just funny, man.
So Chris S. says there have to be consequences for this performance or Chauncey will lose the whole locker room if he hasn't already. Yeah, I don't know if he'll lose the locker room because I think this team is too young to be like, oh, we're forming a mutiny or whatever if you play Ayton or what. It's not like that. But what kind of message does that send to all those players that work their butt off and aren't necessarily playing much or like watch DeAndre Ayton get 35 minutes in a game? I know that's not when he played tonight, but like throughout the season. And then to watch him do that, like how can you start him next game and not have any sort of consequence for that? Yeah, I agree to that extent. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to matter in the locker room what he does with him. It might have an effect on how players like respond to coaching in the future or whatever. Yeah. But I think that's more troubling. But yeah.
Are you trying to establish a culture?
Right.
You can't do it with DeAndre Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, like, that's your highest paid player and one of your vets with finals experience somehow. You can't establish a culture with him. He is a detriment to that. That's why you have to send him away. Right? Like, I don't think, I'm sure some players might be cool with him off the court, but on the court, the only thing he's doing is bringing the vibes down. So, it's the only solution, man. And if the Blazers have the guts, that's what they'll do. The last thing I want to hear is, oh, Klingon got hurt tonight. Oh, Robert Williams isn't playing. You have to play DeAndre, and they have no other center. Bro, they could start Ryan Rupert for center for all I care. They can start freaking Eric at center for all I care. At least I know Eric will run down the court faster than DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, I can't even run down the court, and I'd still be catching. Yeah, it sucks that Clinton got hurt at the end, man.
Yeah, so ankle sprain?
Looks like it's in his ankle. Thankfully, he was holding his knee, so it looked bad. He was like punching or like hitting his hands on stuff on his way out the to the locker room. But yeah. So John Nash asked in chat, is there an argument in favor of Aiton that it's because of the crappy offense and head coach? Dude,
No,
okay. Like I
no
know that's
excuses.
it's a legit question. Okay. However, that's all the crap we heard when he got traded here. Oh, it was the coach. He got froze out of the offense by D-Book and Chris Paul because they didn't like his attitude or whatever. Well, like, why do you think these people don't like his attitude? It's like because it's crap like
Yeah.
this, and they were trying to win a championship, and you can't have a guy like this doing this on a championship team.
Who is he
And
to demand the offense runs through him?
right,
And
well,
it's
that
like,
too.
he's not good enough to, okay, number one. Number two, it's like, all right, so if we don't feed you 20, 25 shots a game, you're going to quit on us? No, that's BS. Go on.
Yeah, and this is why I I mean, like I said, it's a legit question to ask, but this is why I will never ever give someone like DeAndre Ayton a pass. It's because if you want to have a situation where you're more of a focal point of offense or whatever, this is the exact opposite way to accomplish that, right? Like you're going to you work your tail off, you hustle down the court every time and be like, "Coach, I'm working my butt off." And you can go into press conferences after the game and be like, "Guys, like you see me out there hustling my butt off. I think I could do more for this team, and I wish I had a chance to do more." But no, you could just be like, dude, you don't do crap with the chance you're given. Like that's like Tori said, you don't reward people like that. They don't
Yeah.
deserve
No.
more touches or whatever. And if it takes more touches or whatever for you to play harder, then you're a bum anyway, and you're never going to be a good player, and you're never going to be a winning player. So, like, honestly, I have no idea how the Suns were 2 games away from winning the finals with that bum on their roster, dude. Like,
Well, he's still playing
it
for that
just
max contract.
yeah.
That's why. That's why, man. He's still
Hmm.
trying to earn that max. So, here's the thing, too. Tonight he quit on a play where somebody tried to give him the ball. So if that's really the case, it's like, why is he quitting on a play where somebody tried to feed him? You know? There's just no excuses for that. Like, you got to have a certain level of pride where it doesn't matter how things are going. You don't, if you're paid millions of dollars, right? You don't quit like that. So, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. Um,
Why? And okay, and I know this isn't you, John. I like it's you're just asking a question, but Tori and I have fielded these people coming at us ever since Aiton's been on the team, right? Like he just needs to be used right, and that's like as soon as he starts being the focal point of the offense, you'll see how wrong you are about him. It's like, well, that's exactly our point. Like you shouldn't have to get to like, oh, I better get 15 shots this game or I'm not gonna show them in my any effort. Like, what a freaking baby, dude. Like, get
yeah.
off my team. Like,
Yeah. What player is a focal point of an offense that can't shoot threes, dribble, or pass?
you know,
You'd have to go back to like a different NBA and sit there like, yeah, Shaq, because he just physically dominated everyone. All right, yeah, maybe if Aiton was freaking beasting everyone like Shaq, right, where he's just dominating everyone on the interior. Okay, sure, fine, we'll give you more touches if you just freaking punish your defender and dunk every time. He wants to shoot a turnaround mid-range fadeaway. Like, there is no player in the league that can't dribble, can't pass, can't shoot threes. That is the focal point of an offense.
yep.
So, He's not that good. He's just not that good. Like, that's the thing is he deserves all these touches. He needs to be used right. Used how? How are you going to use him? You're going to have him airball more threes? You're going to have him try and dribble and then, like, get scared because he feels like he's going to lose it, so he picks it up 16 feet away and then shoots a fadeaway mid-range? You're going to be your offensive system? You're going to try and have him pass the ball? That's... You're going to try and turn him into Domantas Sabonis? Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to utilize him in a way that he hasn't been utilized before that's going to unlock him? What are you even going to unlock? He's not that good. Like, that's the thing that I always get caught up on with these people that, like, say this stuff. Is just like, do you really think he's offensively skilled? He's not that offensively skilled. He doesn't dribble. He can't shoot threes. He doesn't pass. He's also, like, scared to dunk. He doesn't get to the line. He doesn't know how to draw fouls. He doesn't have, like, a developed low post game.
Johnny says, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I just don't understand what people think he could be or what he's supposed to be or what he is. I don't understand.
Well, I understand what people do think he should be, but
what do people think he should be?
Like a 7-foot athletic center that...
So Daniel Gafford,
like 20 and 10.
Name an athletic 7-foot center that has all his offensive limitations that averages 20 and 10 in today's league.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think there's a single one.
I mean, he wasn't that far off from doing it. Like,
yeah, you feed him. The only way he scores 20 is if he does it inefficiently because he shoots a ton.
Or he just makes a crazy.
He cannot efficiently score 20 a game. He's not capable of efficiently scoring 20 a game.
Anyways, Johnny says Blazers' best bet is Ayton for Ben Simmons. Johnny, who did we play tonight? They watched the same game as we did, bro. Like, there's no chance they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, we need that on this team. We got Nicholas Claxton, but no, we need that.
Yeah, any chance that had of happening is slim.
Teams don't want Ayton. Teams don't. Why would teams want him, man?
That's the trade if you want to include a first. I mean, if we included a first, we could probably dump like Thibault on him too. But like, yeah, we're screwed.
It's just like, why do we have to have these conversations? Why are we the team that's like, oh, this is so bad in our rebuild that we might have to attach an asset to a contract? We should be getting assets for bringing on contracts. For guys that like are bad contracts where we can bring them in and just sit them on the bench. Or waive them and buy them out or whatever. Like, why? It's so backwards. It's literally the opposite of how it should be. The best bet, I brought up this trade on the last postgame show. The best bet for trading Ayton is Chicago trades Vucevic, wants a center replacement that kind of fits their timeline, right? And you attach the 2029 first, that's the worst of Portland, Milwaukee, and Boston, and maybe a couple of seconds to Ayton. You get back Lonzo Ball's expiring contract, probably buy him out, and you get Portland's future first back from them. That is the best bet for getting rid of Ayton. I don't see any trade being better. We got a lot of trade ideas where it's people like, oh, maybe the Pelicans would trade Brandon Ingram for him. What? Why? Why? Yves Missy is better than Ayton. He's a rookie. Why would they want to pay a backup to their rookie center a max contract and trade Brandon Ingram for that? Like, ain't no way. They don't want him. So your best bet is Chicago. Your best bet is that sort of trade. There is some reasons to get back your future first, and to Chicago you can pitch it as, oh, well, that pick might never convey. It might turn into seconds. You get those seconds anyway, and then you get another guaranteed first on top of it. And then on Portland's end, you can view it as like, okay, we get our first round pick back. You know, at some point that's going to convey. If it conveys in 2028, we can't swap it with Milwaukee's first, even if Milwaukee's first overall pick is number 1, because we have to have a pick to swap. So it can't convey in 2028 if we're better than them, or else we miss out on that swap, right? So, yeah, it makes sense to get that back. That is the best trade. If Ayton gets traded, I would feel comfortable betting that it's that trade. But I don't think he gets traded. I think the Blazers literally have to send him to purgatory. He can sit in his waterfront mansion and play video games. Not now. Instead of just playing video games all night, he can play video games all night, morning, afternoon, and evening. Because he doesn't have to show up to work. I'm sure he would be thrilled. So...
You got me thinking, Tori, with that 2028 pick. It's like, we're 2025 now. It's only 3 years away. Like, I don't have confidence that we'll make the playoffs necessarily in the next 3 years, short of obviously lottery luck or some sort of crazy scenario. So, like, that definitely could come into play. It's just 3 years from now. And I don't think it's that far out there now to be like, oh, that pick, oh, we'll definitely make the playoffs once before 2028, right? Like, there's only two more seasons.
Is 2028, yeah.
There's only 2 more seasons between now and then where we could make the playoffs. And
could you imagine 2028? We're in a 8-9 play-in, like the final play-in game. Milwaukee is terrible by then. Maybe they had to trade Giannis. I don't know. And they have, like, one of the worst records in the league, like maybe the second or third worst record in the league, and we have the right to swap with their pick, right, if we have our own first-round pick. But the only way we'd have our own first-round pick is if we lose that 8-9 play-in game, because if we win it, then it's not in the lottery, it conveys to Chicago, and we don't get a pick at the top of the draft. That sounds crazy, but that is a possible scenario if the Blazers don't get their first-round pick back from Chicago, right? Where you're going into that game, I want the Blazers to make the playoffs, but if it's like make the playoffs and get destroyed in the first round versus get a top 3 or 4 pick, I'm going to choose the top 3 or 4 pick over getting destroyed in the first round as an 8 seed. So, yeah, everybody, like, there's so many people that act like, oh, it doesn't matter getting your first round pick back. It's not going to convey, so it's going to be nothing. It's like, even if it doesn't convey, it turns into 2 seconds anyway. And you want to be able to swap it. What if it does convey? If you get it back, it's like you get that first round pick back, okay? If it does convey by the end of 2028. So you are actually getting a first back. And also, you want to be able to swap it. So I don't know. I don't know what people are missing on that conversation. It's just, yeah, it does make sense to get it back. Chicago is like the type of dumb team to trade for Ayton. You know? They're the team that traded for Josh Giddey after all that drama with him and trade Caruso straight up for him. So, yeah. If Ayton gets traded, I feel like that's what it is going to be. But maybe another team is dumb, and we can get lucky.
all right, so my mom just stopped by unannounced, Tori.
Uh-huh.
She won a signed Anthony Simons hat. It's my exact hat I'm wearing, only it's signed by Anthony Simons.
Nice.
That she just gifted me. So thank you, Mom.
Nice.
But I'm gonna do this right. Like, I have not talked to her.
We have not had your mom on a stream in a while.
All right, I have not talked to her other than about the hat. I want to ask her this question without any sort of prompt. I don't know how much she's been listening to the show or anything. Come over here, Mom. All right.
While you do that, shout out Emma Lom, $5 donation. When is the soonest, or when do we expect Joe to sell this FND? Much love from New York. We'll answer that question after this. Thank you for the donation. Go ahead, Eric.
All right, Mom. What did you think of DeAndre Aon tonight?
He's horrible. But I'm really worried about Klingon. I love Klingon, but that last time he went down, he was not happy, and he hit his hand on the thing going in the tunnel. So
yeah,
I'm worried. No, he needs to sit. He needs to sit on the bench.
Did you notice Aiden pouting or like not giving effort tonight, or?
No, he didn't give any effort.
Yeah.
At all.
All right. Thanks.
None.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks for the validation.
No,
Eric.
I don't like.
Love it. Oh man. Well, I just there's nothing left to say. There's nothing left to say. I I don't know if I'll ever rant like this about Ayton again. Because how many times am I going to rant about this dude? You know? And when are they going to just say like, "All right, get away from here. Get away from here." You know? Like I just have a feeling, I don't know. Hopefully this is the tip of the iceberg, or not the tip of the iceberg. Hopefully this is the what's the phrase I'm looking for? The peak? No, that's not the right phrase. Come on, Tori. Yes, you will rant about him. I mean, it's just the same thing, man. Maybe this is finally the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think that's a phrase that I'm going for. Yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back. Yep, there you go, Arrow. There you go, man. We'll get you on this mock draft that we're going to do in a few minutes. But yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe this is the straw that broke the camel's back. And the camel is Portland, and they're finally done. Hopefully. Start Do-Up Wreath so Calabro can say Big Daddy 30 times in a freaking broadcast. I'll take that over Ayton. I'll listen to Big Daddy all game long. Over watching this dude be Big Pouty. Can we call Ayton Big Pouty? We got Big Daddy. We got Big Pouty. All right. Give me... No, I'm not going to say that. That would be a bad clip. I'm not going to go there. I was basically about to say I want Do-Up Wreath over Ayton, but I was going to use his nickname. All right, so chat, I don't know if Eric's listening to me. What if I just left him solo? Wow, he's distracted.
You can give me a minute and I'll do solo.
Okay, I would just be gone for 30 seconds. I just want another Starburst Ice. If anybody knows anyone that works at this company, I want a sponsorship. Okay, Here, I'll go full screen. I want a Starburst Sparkling Ice sponsorship. If anybody knows anybody that knows anyone, okay? This would be like a dream come true, okay? I like the strawberry ones better. They're super good. Super good. I will sell the hell out of some Starburst Ices. I just need the sponsorship. B Skrilla, I don't believe you, unfortunately. But if you do... If you did, hit me up. Let's just hypothetically say you do. Hit me up. You're back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I also know the sales rep for Sparkling. So.
What? Stop trolling me. I'm being serious.
I've literally told you.
What?
Part of my. Yeah. Dude, when you first started drinking that stuff, I told you that I work for the company that stocks that stuff.
Hook it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know.
I don't remember you saying that. To be honest, I do not remember. I forget a lot of things.
I told you that was one of my products. Yeah. Thanks for remembering. Yeah.
Nah, that stuff sucks. You don't like that stuff, man. People are gonna go out and buy it now. I already successfully advertised it. I'm not even getting no compensation, no sponsorship. I'm people are already gonna go buy it because I brought it up. Yeah. So
if anything, you should be getting some free cases, right?
Dude, I'll take free cases. I spend so much money on these, man. I'll take free product and I'll do it. It would be sick just to have it. All right. I run an influencer marketing company. Okay, we can get you partnered up with some good influencers and we can sell some ice, man. Just let me know. Just let me know. I'm going to go get another one because now I'm thirsty.
All right.
And then we can do this mock draft. You can start talking about other players you want to talk about, I guess.
Okay. So Tamani had a huge game, obviously, career high 23 points. Unfortunately, it took him 21 shots. He missed several towards the end and kind of ruined his percentages for the game. But yeah, 7 of 21 does not look good shooting splits wise. But overall, I thought he had a really good game. Had some of his usual defense as well. Good to see him hit 4 threes in this one, get to the free throw line 5 times. Great to see. Shaden Sharp, his overall numbers end up looking okay. He hits a 3 in the fourth quarter, I believe, to keep his 3-point streak alive of hitting at least 1 3-pointer. And then he manages to get just over 20 points at 21 to keep his, I believe, now 5 straight games over 20 points. So even when it seems like he's not having the greatest of games, he still finishes 9 of 17, 21 points. So good job from him there. And then, Denny doesn't play tonight because of a right ankle sprain, I believe. Same right ankle sprain for Matisse Thybulle as well as what it's listed as. Jeremy Grant didn't play again because of his face. They had a new starting lineup. They started the 3 guards. I thought that was cool to see. And then, Scoot comes out of the gates just firing. That was awesome. And then the only other starter we haven't talked about much is Anthony Simons. He had a dreadful game on both ends, I thought. He was 3 for 12 from the field, 11 points, 4 assists, 2 turnovers. Got lost a couple times on defense, had his guy cut on him. He lost him and gave up a scoring lane. So, yeah, I thought this was by far Anthony's worst game in a while. And, but at some point I was just like, yeah, okay, you don't need to play Anthony anymore in this game. Just let Scoot see what Scoot can do, see how high he can score this game. Brick.
Brutal.
Yeah. But yeah, so I thought Anthony was really bad on both ends. Let's see. I do think, he had his moments. So, like, there was maybe half his shots that I were kind of forced. Simons, I'm talking about. So, like, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I did feel like he let Scoot do his thing in the first half, at least. Like, he wasn't trying to, like, be like, okay, now it's my turn or anything like that. I did feel like he gave Scoot a little bit of runway to do what he was doing, and I think he should get a little bit of credit for that. Not saying it means much when you have such a bad game, but at least he didn't. He was 4th on the team in field goal attempts, so I'll take that for bad game, I guess. Clayton plays 22 minutes. Ends up with only 1 field goal attempt somehow. It seemed like he had a lot of misses, but I guess there was he got fouled a lot, but it was like right before he caught the ball or like on a rebound or something, so he didn't get a shot attempt or free throws off him other than 2 free throws that he made. He ended up with 14 rebounds, but did have 4 turnovers. But it was just like night and day difference with energy level when he was in the game versus when Ayton was playing. Banton plays 19 minutes in this game, scores 10 points, doesn't really do a whole lot else other than those 10 points. And then Chris Murray played 23 minutes. was a +5. Klingon was a +6. Jabari Walker played 5 minutes and was a -20. That's crazy.
Bro, he's out of the league next year, I have a feeling.
And then, Chris Murray missed both 3-point shots he took. Was 2 for 3 other than that. And once again, I thought outside of the 3-point misses, I thought he was okay in this game. But, everyone else's minutes were just garbage time, so I'm not going to comment too much on them.
Yeah. And then Emilam kept saying read the dono. We read it earlier, but we didn't answer the question yet. So the question was, when is the soonest or when do we expect Jody to sell this effing team? Much love from New York. Thanks for the love, man. Thanks for the donation. So who knows, man? There's so much like legal stuff behind that I don't understand, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could give you I could give you an answer, man. I really do.
I wish it was tomorrow, but
yeah.
So the way it works right now, Jody, by being the caretaker for the estate or whatever, and in turn being the de facto owner of the Blazers, based on that trust, she makes well over $100 million a year just from the Blazers. That doesn't include any other revenue they're making from, I don't know how much she makes from the Seahawks and other stuff. So that's a situation where she's going to fight to keep making that $100 million paycheck every year. So, and this was a few years ago. It was 115 to 120 million, I think she was making. So it's probably going up as the league makes more money with these TV deals and stuff. So, she's raking in the money. She's not going to want to sell anytime soon. And just for the record, it also came out that if the team is sold, that Vulcan and Burt Cold would get a percentage of the sale as a finder's fee or something, but that Jody doesn't get any part of the sale of the team. That all goes to pay estate and taxes and stuff off that. So she's making a crap load of money right now. She doesn't make that money off a sale, or if she doesn't have a team anymore. So I think, like I said, she's going to keep trying to do it. So I don't know if legally when that ends. That's always been the debate since Paul Allen's passing on how long she had until she had to sell it. But I think they're trying very hard to make it more of a permanent thing than, we need to sell it by this date.
Yeah, where's that $100 million number coming from is a question in chat.
Oh, so it's she gets a percentage of the revenue of the team or whatever.
Yeah. No, I think somebody was just wondering where you heard that it was $100 million a year.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't know if it was Cardano, but it was from that article. Yeah. When it was right around the time that Phil Knight, whenever that was.
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember the number from the article, but I do remember the article being along those lines. So it's it's not a good setup, and that's the problem. That is the problem with all this. Is it's not set up for Jody to want to sell.
Emilam says, I thought Adam Silver was going to force Jody to sell. No, there's a thing in the NBA constitution or whatever that you can force a sale of an owner that is in a situation like this, but the NBA has no reason to force it. It's not like Jody's obviously she's had her legal issues, but it's not like she's it's come out like she's a racist or what's his name with the Clippers ended up happening. Why am I Donald Sterling, yeah, like it's not like that situation. So, like, I mean, there's tons of owners that don't put a huge level of effort into like making their team good or paying the tax or whatever. There's a lot of teams that, especially small markets, that have a tough time with that. And so I don't think the NBA is in a position to make anyone sell their team just because they don't want someone as owner unless they actually do something to warrant that decision.
Yeah. But could one of our subscribers force the team to get exported is the real question. If you don't know, you don't know. All right. Time for Tankathon. Time for...
Oh, so just so you know, Fanspo has a lottery sim too now. If you want to,
I like doing Tankathon, man.
no, I know, but like, it would it be? We wouldn't have to do trades and stuff. But...
It's still...
Okay.
Yeah, nah, we'll be fine with this. I like doing Tankathon. Where is the Tankathon window, man? It's been so weird lately. Give me the Tankathon window. I mean, we got a whole Tankathon graphic, so it wouldn't be right.
True.
Wouldn't feel right. Man, can I? I just don't understand why like I've been having troubles lately getting the actual Tankathon website up on the screen. Don't understand. All right, we'll just do the good old display capture. That's my streaming software. All right, here we go. Portland. This was a big loss for the Tank. The Blazers have only won a third of their games, but improvement. They've improved, according to Joe Cronin. They're on pace for 26 wins instead of 21. Yeah, I guess that is improvement. But the good news is they are a half game above Brooklyn. They also gained a game on Utah and gained a game on Toronto and gained a game on New Orleans. Because all three of those teams won their last game. So the Blazers finally, with help from DeAndre Aon, are finding ways to lose and finding ways to try and improve their lottery odds. All right, they're 2.5 games back from 5th. They are 5 games back from 2nd. But New Orleans, they get healthier. New Orleans is catchable, right? Utah is catchable. The Blazers are only 2.5 games behind them. So we'll see if the Blazers can improve their lottery odds. This lottery is very important because we're going to do a mock draft based on it. We're going to hop in a call with Aeromancer, our moderator. He won it on a giveaway night. All right. We're going to hop in with him and we're going to spin. I don't know what we do to figure out who has like 1, 2, and 3, but we'll figure it out. So this lottery is very important. Hopefully the Blazers can finally get lucky because they haven't moved up in quite a while. At 14 is San Antonio via Atlanta. At 13 is San Antonio. What's up?
Before you reveal where the Blazers pick, do you want to decide who's doing what numbers so that it's like we're not trying to choose who the Blazers have?
We can just do a random number generator.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just do a random number generator. 12 is Sacramento. 11 is Houston via Phoenix. 10 is Chicago moving down 1 spot. Who moved up? Who's at 10?
10 is Golden State.
Oh. All right. Too bad they couldn't make the top 4 last year, so we would have their pick this year, huh? 9 is OKC via Philadelphia. 8 is Brooklyn, which means your Blazers should be at 7. And at 7 is your Portland Trail Blazers. Man, we can't move up. At 6 is Utah, and at 5 is Toronto. Your top 4, New Orleans. 3, Charlotte. 2, Golden State, and 1 is Washington. All right, that is the order. That is the order of it all. Alrighty. Do you want to Do the random number generator, Eric. I trust you.
Hold on. Okay, can you go through the top 4 again?
Top 4.
One,
Washington, Golden
Washington.
State, Charlotte, New Orleans.
New Orleans is 4.
Yeah. We're just drafting who we would take.
Okay.
Since there's 3 of us.
And who is 3?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Okay, so Charlotte stayed at 3. Okay.
Full draft. All teams.
Jazz, Nets, Blazers.
Must log into use. Alright, I'm going to set this up. You let us know where we're picking. I'm going to hop in the call-in. That's where Aeromancer can hop in. Alrighty. And I must log in to set a custom order, but can it let me log in? That would be great. There we go. Alright, new custom order. Alright, so hop in the call-in. Arrow, hop in the call-in. We had Wizards, Golden State at 2. We had Hornets 3, New Orleans 4. Arrow, you should set this up yourself as well.
Who's 5?
5 would be Toronto. So it's Toronto, Utah, Portland.
Where did Brooklyn go? Oh,
Brooklyn's at 8.
this is.
Yeah, this isn't like updated, so that's why we also use Tankathon. Alright. So we got OKC at 9. Via Philadelphia, we got Chicago. We got Houston. San Antonio. No, Houston, Sacramento, San Antonio.
Crap, who'd you say was 5 again?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto, Utah, Portland. Yeah. Alrighty. I might as well just toss this on the stream at this point. Alright. Chat, if you're new to our mock drafts, we toss it on the screen, we go through, and we pick players for each team. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Did I get it? Yay, I got it. Nice, let's go. Alrighty. So 17, Indiana, 18, Utah. We'll get the first round right. We won't worry about the second. 19 is Atlanta. 20 is Dallas. What's up?
You're just going to have to tell me when the picks come up who's picking, because...
Oh, you didn't do that for... Alright, yeah.
I couldn't. I'm still trying to get the lottery right. You're way ahead of me.
The lottery is just Tankathon
No.
with Golden State and New Orleans moving up.
No, I know, but I had to physically change all the...
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
No, but I'm saying I was just finishing the lottery, and you were talking about teams in the teens, so I wasn't there yet. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me know where you're at. We'll get it right. We'll get it through the first round, and then we'll go.
So I got... Are the Spurs 11, 12?
Spurs are 13, 14. So 11 is Houston, 12 is Sacramento. Spurs are 13 and 14.
Oh, Houston. Switched.
Yep. We're going to get it accurate. We're going to do it right. All right.
All right. And then, so 12 and 13, and then 14 Hawks. Or no?
To the Spurs. Spurs are 13-14. It's Rockets 11, Kings 12, Spurs 13 and 14.
Oh, Kings 12. Frick.
Yeah.
Okay. And then who's 15?
15 is, it's just whatever it is on Takeathon. So 15 is Minnesota.
Okay.
16 OKC, 17 Indiana, 18 Utah.
No, wait, hold on. Indiana's good.
Yeah, Indiana and Utah flip them. Atlanta, Dallas, OKC, Brooklyn, Orlando.
Indiana, Utah.
All right, then 19 is Atlanta. 20 is
Wait.
Dallas.
Wait, 18 is Utah?
Yes, 17 is Indiana, 18 is Utah, and 19 is Atlanta.
And 19 is Atlanta?
Yep.
Okay. 20.
All right, 20 is Dallas.
Okay.
21 is OKC.
Okay.
22 is Brooklyn.
Okay.
23 is Orlando. 24 is Orlando.
Oh, fun.
And the rest should be correct. Once you've put that in.
Grizzlies, Nets.
Celtics, Clippers, Jazz, yeah.
Okay.
Second round, screw the second round. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this is Mock Draft 2.0. Let's save it. We're using no ceilings big board. We can substitute players we would never draft for players that aren't available to draft if we wish. All right, I'll do the random number generator. Yes, I am a human. Yes, I'm not a robot. All right, random number generator set to 1 to 3. All right, I'll roll for Arrow. All right, Arrow's going 3. All right, I'll roll for you between 1 and 2. All right, you're going 2, so I'm going 1. So me, you, Arrow, and then me, you, Arrow is how we're gonna do that. All right, which means I get to pick for the Blazers. I did the random number generator on the screen. Yeah. Cool. All right. So I got the first pick, number 1, Washington, obviously, Cooper Flagg. He's been playing great lately. You pair him with Koulibaly and Sarr, and you have your front court for the next decade. And number 2, it's you, Eric. Also, hop in the call-in. Oh, yeah, you're in here. All right.
I'm in here.
Hopefully, Arrow.
I've not heard Arrow yet, though.
Arrow, are you there, brother?
I'm being quiet. I'm here. Hey,
Hello,
what's up,
Arrow.
guys?
What's up? All right. So you're 3, 6, 9. All right. So we got number 2 pick, Golden State, Eric.
Wow. I think last time they were this high, they made a mistake taking the big man. So I think they're just going to take the best player this time, and that's Dylan Harper.
All right. Number 3 is Charlotte Aeromancer.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to play this one kind of safe too. They have a backcourt of the future, so I'm going to go with Ace Bailey here.
Cool.
Are you playing Brandon Miller at shooting guard?
He plays some 2 for them, doesn't he?
I think you play him at the 2 long term. Honestly, he could be either a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
Kind of like Paul George.
I like the idea of, like, you could go big with Bailey at the 3 and Miller at the 2, or you could go with them at the 3 and 4 in interchange. And then basically they just need to find the shooting guard or power forward of the future to round out their lineup, because Mark Williams has been great. Maybe he can stay healthy, and then you got your lineup. So All right, at 4, we got New Orleans. I mean, this is just super simple and actually super easy for me for New Orleans. You trade C.J. McCollum, maybe trade DeJounte Murray, but you trade at least one of those two. You take Yakuchonis, you start him right away. He is your lead guard offensively. I think he can come in right away and, like, be a low-key, like, rookie of the year candidate. Like, I think he can come in and be good right away and maybe surprise some people by having a really good rookie season. So I'm going to take him number 4 to New Orleans. And then number 5, we got Toronto.
All right. Toronto's in kind of a weird position here. I think this might seem like a bit of a reach here, but I like BJ Edgecombe for them.
So Hoop Intellect had him number 4 on his big board.
Mm-hmm.
He had Yakuchonis number 3
Yeah, Ace Bailey fall.
at 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
nice.
VJ's been a little better lately. So I don't think it's crazy. I mean, the draft kind of starts after 4. All right, Aeromancer. The 6th pick, you got Utah.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I could go several different ways here. I think I'm gonna take Trey Johnson here. They don't really need offense, but like I think the upside's there, and they're not really in a position where they can be thinking about positionalities. So they just go with bucket getter.
Yeah. I like him. I just think that's like one of the best players on the board, and they could use a guard next to Keontae long term. So that's pretty good. Portland at 7. Chat, let me know who you would take in the live chat. I mean, this is not easy. This really is not easy, man.
It just gets harder after the first 5.
Yeah. Cause my top player on the board is Derek Queen. One of my top players on the board is Cam Jones, but like I don't know. Like you really want to go forward here. I'm not thrilled with any of the forwards. I do think Asa Newell's been playing really good lately. Does he have the upside though that I want at that pick? Yeah, I mean none of these guys down here are gonna factor in. Let me see what we're doing in chat. All right, trade down. Ben is the best bet. Ben Seraph, I do not like Ben Seraph. I'm not taking him at all. Honestly, I'm just going to take Derek Queen. He can be the backup to Klingon next year. You trade Ayton or get rid of him. I don't know. You trade Robert Williams. You hope that Queen can develop a three-point shot and move just well enough to play some 4. You know, maybe he's your Nas Reed of the future. Maybe he becomes even better, and maybe, like, he's better than Klingon. Is that the worst thing in the world? Probably not. So I'm just going to take Derek Queen.
All right, I think that puts me up at 8.
With Brooklyn.
I am just going to take Jeremiah Fears and just hope I can find some sort of potential star there.
Yep. Makes sense. All right, we got OKC at 9 for Arrow.
All right. At 9, I'm thinking just go with Asa here. Got the size. It's been playing well. I think there's enough upside.
I like
Got a good
that for
pick.
them. Why does it keep picking like 2 players for me? Undo.
Oh,
I don't know. Fanspo's glitching. There we go. All right. So 10 is me. Asa would have been.
Chicago.
10 is Philadelphia. Oh
Yeah.
no, 10 is not Philadelphia. 10 is
Chicago.
Chicago.
No, it's Philadelphia, isn't it? Or did it change?
No. OKC was 9. They get Philadelphia's
Oh.
pick. I accidentally put Philadelphia, so yeah, it actually is Chicago. Eric's right. But I can easily trade it to Chicago. Whoops, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. There we go. Okay, 10, Chicago. All right. You can always trade the pick in here anyways. They're a mess. They're an absolute mess. And I don't really know what their freaking direction is at all. They don't know what their direction is. I think they need upside. I mean, who's the most high upside player left on the board? They also need a Vucevic replacement. I'm going to go Maluach. Like, high floor, might have some untapped potential, can replace Vucevic. You at least solve that, and then you start off your rebuild, I guess, with that. All right. At 11, we got Houston for Eric.
All right. Man, like my top 5 on my board are all guards, are all like point guards.
It wouldn't be the worst thing to draft for Houston.
I mean, they got Reed Shepherd last year.
Yeah, but he can play off ball
That's
too
awesome.
if you need to.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a big point guard.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take.
Do you think Ben Serif is a point guard?
Yeah.
I view him more as a 2 guard.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Demon.
Alrighty, I was wondering how far he's going to fall, man. I have really soured on him. I was hyping him up early, and he has just fallen off a cliff against tougher competition. He might end up out of my lottery, but he has intriguing upside, I guess. It's just, you can't... I haven't talked enough about him recently. I like the pick for Houston because he's positionally versatile, and who knows what position you're going to need in the future. You already have a lot of depth, so actually that's maybe who I would take for Houston, but just does not create space well enough against legitimate athletes, and his handle's questionable, and it's like, can he actually be a point guard at a high level? I don't know. He's not the greatest shooter, just has a lot of question marks, but has some stuff to work with where you could maybe see him being good at everything down the road. So, intriguing player. Arrow at 12 with Sacramento.
I feel like this pick depends a lot on the Fox situation and how they navigate that, and whether or not they want to go back down into the ranks of the lottery people, or if they actually are going to try to go for it. But right now they're doing well, so I'm going to go with a kind of more older guy in Cam Jones.
Oh, I hate you. That's my next pick. I like that for them. Yeah. Best player on the board for me. Nice.
Yeah. He just solid.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right. So we're sitting here at 13. We have I'm going to pull up my big board on my phone.
Bro, I got all 3 of my screens up here with like a big board, and then I got Hoop Intellect on one side. it's an operation.
Yeah. Sorry, I got like a million texts. I just pulled up my phone. It's like text. But, all right. Let's see here. I think for them, yeah, I mean, it would have been easy, like Cam Jones off the bat. I think you could go maybe with a guard. Kessel doesn't have to play point guard. You got Chris Paul, who's up there in age. I do like Boogie Flan. That's who I'm going to go with for San Antonio at 13. I'm going to go with Boogie Flan. All right, 14 is San Antonio again.
All right, they just took a guard. I don't think you could have enough shooting in this league, so I'm going to take Noah Sengu for them with their other pick.
A Sengu for shooting? I know he's shooting decently, but it's not on high volume. I don't know. Over like McNeely? Shooting-wise?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, I like his upside better, and he's from France too. So.
You love your French guys.
No, I just with Wemby.
Oui, oui.
Alrighty, 15 Minnesota.
15. I think that they take McNeely here. Their offense sucks this year.
Yeah.
They can always use shooting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty safe pick.
Yep. I agree. I like that. All right. OKC at 16. They can get like this pick. All right, I'm gonna shock people. All right, like OKC doesn't need more role players. They can just swing for upside. Maybe guys that are positionally versatile. Right. It's not working out with Ousmane Dieng. I don't know when they're going to end that experiment, but the player I would pick for them, and it's just to me like a home run swing, is Dink Pate.
Really?
Yep. Why the really? Were you about to pick him?
No.
I was going to say, I don't think you're a Dink Pate fan. I have him lower on my board. I just think like OKC can just swing on somebody like that and hope they can develop him and could hit a home run there. So
Where is he?
31. Or unless you have a different board than me.
I have a different board. I don't see him.
I'm on No Ceilings official draft board.
Yeah.
Energy warning. What's up, man? Says, hey, fellas, what a stupidly winnable game tonight. The boat anchor DA drug us down. Feel bad for Scoot and Tamani. I don't feel bad for Scoot, man. Except for that last shot he missed. Should have finished and had a 40-piece, but yeah, DA
I feel
sucks,
like
man.
we didn't talk about Tumani at all.
Yeah, not really.
I did for a minute.
He shot a lot of shots, so he had a high scoring night, but shot a
Yeah.
lot, so you know. You can't find Dink Pate?
I found him. Okay. So Pacers up for me at 17, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm just gonna go with shooting upside and go with Justin Sane in here.
Where is
He might be down a ways.
61. There he is. All right. 19, we have Atlanta. For Arrow. Wait, no. It drafted 2 again. All right, 18, we have Utah. Yeah.
Utah for Arrow
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
Took Trey
I
Johnson.
feel
with
like I
6.
drafted for Utah earlier, and I don't
Trey
remember who I
Johnson.
You
did.
took Trey Johnson with
Okay,
6.
yeah. Great. This is tough. Looking through my board. I think this is an interesting one. I think they're gonna go with Colin Murray Boyles
Well,
here.
who would you pick? Is the calculation here? Who would you pick?
Yeah.
And
I'm
if you
just
don't
trying
know
to
who
think
you'd
of-
want, you can always think about what the team would pick. What would make sense for the team, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like I'm always trying to think of situations, but also like best player available.
Yeah, like who would you pick for this team? in
He's
their
an
situation,
interesting prospect.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody I would necessarily take over him for the Jazz or for
Yeah.
me.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Okay.
he's just there, like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily a super NBA translatable talent, but
I think he
I
would
think
be
that he's
better
got
next to a stretch
enough.
5. So it's like, all right, if it's, if they trade Walker Kessler, they would want to find a stretch 5 to try and make him work as a starter. All right, we got 19. Atlanta. I mean, they could use a third guard in my opinion, and they could use some defense. You could use somebody that could back up Trae Young, maybe play next to Trae Young, help them out on the defensive side of the floor. I'm going to take LeBaron Philon for them. I actually really like Philon for them. All right, 20, we got Dallas for Eric.
All right. I'm gonna take Andrej Stojakovic here for them.
All right, did they add him? Nope.
No.
interesting.
Let's
What is your reasoning there, Eric?
I think his offensive game would be very fluid under with Luka and Kyrie there, and I just think that more scoring is good for them. I think they have the defensive pieces.
I'm gonna draft Aaron Scott because he sucks, and we're not gonna draft him. So that's who I'm gonna put at 23. it's Stojakovic since they don't have him on here.
Did you ask
I wanted
Arrow
to
if he's
take
going?
him.
Huh? Do you want to take Aaron Scott at some point? I looked at his season stats. I don't even know
No.
why he's on here, bro. Like he's
I don't
Not
I don't
even
even
good.
know who that is.
yeah. He's not. And he's our new Jordan Ivy Curry or whatever that dude's name was. He's now playing for UCF with Mikey Williams. All right, 21. We got Arrow with OKC. They took Asa Newell at 9 and Dink Pate at 16.
So they've gone size upside. I think they're gonna go shooting here. I know his 3-point percentage hasn't been what you want, but his free throw percentage is, and that is gonna be Knipple.
Yeah, I do like that. I like the combination of guys there.
Yeah.
Wait, was 21 my... Wait, wasn't 21 my pick? I have 1, 4, 7,
don't think
10,
so.
13,
No.
16,
No.
19, 22.
You're
Okay, I'm
22.
tripping. Yeah, okay, cool. We're good here. All right, 22 Brooklyn. They took Jeremiah Fears at 8. They also have the 26th, 27th, and 36th picks for some reason. I'm deciding between... They took Fears, so do you want to take Traore? I'm deciding between Hugo. I'm deciding between Danny Wolf. Like, just get unique here. But I do think Hugo's being slept on a ton. maybe you can stash him with these picks as well, just for a year. I'm going to take him at 22, Hugo Gonzalez. All right, 23 is Orlando for Eric. And then 24 is Orlando for Arrow.
All right. I think Orlando's in a position where they can just take a chance on just best available. And I know they don't really have these specific needs, but I think between Traore and Seraph, I think there's two players here that are good value at this stage of the draft. So I'm going to take Traore and just hope that some of his earlier flashes come to fruition.
Alrighty, Arrow 24.
Nice. So just took a guard. I do think that they do need some size. There are two guys I would consider here. Sorber and maybe Danny Wolf, but I think that they're going to go Sorber here.
Alrighty. I'll just say, my own opinion, I don't understand Sorber. Like, a lot of people like him a lot. I just don't. I don't get it. But maybe I just need to watch some more of him. 25 is Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis. You got a lot of bigs now. Aldama's been decent. Jared Jackson Jr., Zach Edey, right? You can kind of go for any position. I do think they... I kind of would like some scoring upside for them. Just feels like they're lacking that in a lot of their younger prospects that they have. And maybe some extra shooting. But, like, who is that for them? This dude's been, like, really good lately. And is, like, a pure bucket. Has a lot of flaws to his game, a lot of question marks. But I think for Memphis, they could just go with a prospect that's a guy that can, like, really score the ball and hope they can round out their game and provide them, like, scoring punch off the bench. I'm going to go with Ian Jackson. All right, 26 is Brooklyn. They drafted Fears and Hugo Gonzalez.
All right, so let's continue on this path where I just take the best prospect left on my board, and I think when you have this many picks, that's what you should do. So I'm taking Ben Sarah.
Alrighty, 27 Brooklyn for Arrow. The second time in a row you have to follow up Eric with the same team.
Right. Well, if we're talking upside, Traore's off the board. Man, this is getting interesting. Huh. I don't know if this guy's even going to be in this draft, and this is a big jump. This is a big kind of upside swing, but I'm going to go Rocco Zakarski here.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think
He's really raw, but, like, maybe there's something. He flips his hips really well. He defends, he blocks shots.
yeah, 7'2" and can move a little bit is always intriguing, and I think this is definitely around where his range starts. So I like that for them. All right, 28. There's just a player to me that for some reason just makes a ton of sense for the Boston Celtics as, like, upside swing, a guy that just probably is not playing enough right now, but a forward that can move and has scoring upside that I feel like would develop really well in Boston. That is Carter Bryant. All right, 29, we got the Clippers.
All right, Clippers first pick. Um, I like Isaiah Evans for them. Just get him a shooter that they're going to try to make the Harden thing work still. I think playing off Harden and Powell, just spotting up for three will help those guys space the floor a little bit.
Yep. All right. 30 Utah Arrow.
Arrow's
Okay,
third pick with Utah.
Yeah, you love your Utah, huh? You got Trey Johnson and Colin
I'm
Murray
just
Boyles. What do you
doing
do
their
now?
draft here, yeah. I think man. I think I gotta think on this one for a sec.
Yeah, okay. Interesting names we still have left on the board. Will Riley's there. His stock's falling. Nick Clifford has risen to a first round
Yeah.
stock, but is definitely a lot older. Caravan older as well. Kind of boring prospect. Rasheer Fleming's been getting a lot of buzz lately.
I like Rasheer, but he's I don't know I would take him for Utah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go overseas. I'm gonna go with Sergio De La Rea here. I don't think he's on there, but
He should be
I
on
was
there.
watching Hoop Intellect.
Yeah.
Intriguing prospects. Yeah.
Yeah, he should be on there. I think he's a point guard. Yeah, I don't think he's on here at all.
I don't see him.
All right, who do we want to draft for him?
St. Thomas.
Oh, I was gonna take him.
Oh, were you?
Maybe. Matthew Cleveland.
Sure.
Add notes along with the
This
pick.
pick was already going to Cleveland, or it got sent to Utah. So
Sergio Larea, Matthew Cleveland. All right, because I ain't drafting him. All right, 31. I got Boston. They took Carter Bryant. So it's my second pick in a row with Boston. So Al Horford replacement offensively with like some extra offensive juice. Defense a little bit worse, but they were gonna need somebody to replace him. Kristaps Porzingis is injury prone. You got it like so many good defenders, and you live off the three ball and having guys that can really pass. So Danny Wolf just seems like a match made in heaven for them.
yeah.
All right, 32 Charlotte. They took Ace Bailey at third. And then guess what? They also have the 33rd pick.
Arrow, you got to follow me up again.
Oh, man.
Oh God.
All right.
Um, man, just stockpile wings or do
I think they could go for any position except maybe guard. Like combo guards. I feel like they have enough of those.
yeah. Mark Williams has been awesome, but you can't really count on him. They might trade Richards. So I'm going to take a Visich here.
Down to the bottom of the board. All right. $33 is Charlotte. Arrow. You're up.
Following up Eric again. I'm
take his
just gonna
brother.
go for value at this point. I'm not taking his brother, although that would be funny. I know he's a little older, but I think that his production's there, and you can say that he's a good prospect, and just take Nick Clifford.
All right, Nick Clifford.
Whose brother are you going to take?
I was gonna say
Avicic.
Avisage's
Oh,
brother, Thomas Love.
oh.
34. I got Detroit. Oh, the two players I like here, like value wise, don't make sense for them. Man, I think this is where they're starting to build out some serious depth. Like, this is where you can take a guy like Will Riley and try and develop him and be patient. I think Will Riley should go back to school and could benefit a lot from that. But they do need shooting and maybe like a big forward. So I'm going to take him for Detroit. All right, 35 is Minnesota.
All right. So they got some shooting with McNeely earlier in the draft. I think like Conley's showing his age this year. They do have Dillingham, but they need another guard eventually, probably. I'm gonna take Xavier Lee.
All right. All right, 36 is Brooklyn. I was debating Xavier Lee with the Detroit pick.
There are a couple guys that I like who I don't think that Brooklyn would value here.
Yeah, they already took
which is
Fears, Hugo
unfortunate.
Gonzalez, Ben Serif, Rocco Zakarski with their 4 picks before this.
Now they have another. Man. I'm gonna go with a guard here. I'm gonna go Jace Richardson.
All right. Jace Richardson off the board. I got, let's see, Toronto, they took VJ Edgecombe. I am going to take, in my opinion, the highest upside player left on the board, but could also be a good role player. And that is a Thiero.
Nice.
All right, 38 is Dallas. I'd have loved Thiero for Dallas, by the way. But
All right, they took Stojakovic earlier in the draft.
yep.
All right, I got to take my guy here. Tori, I want to know what you think of this
This
guy
is a
if you've
new
heard of
guy.
him.
Oh, new
This is
guy.
a new Eric guy.
Oh, man.
What you know about Yaxel Lendenborg?
Oh, Yaxel Lendenberg? Yeah. UAB.
Yeah, that's my new guy.
Ooh.
He's intriguing. He just, can he shoot? And what is his role is the questions, but he's a fun player for sure.
I'm gonna take him for Dallas.
I thought you were gonna say somebody a lot more obscure than that.
Oh no. We just had never talked about him.
Yeah, true. All right, Arrow, 39. You got San Antonio.
Spurs. We can say that they want to go for upside still here, but like, I think they need to fill out the roster with some complementary pieces, and I think the player I would take here is going to be Rasheer Fleming. He's just a big body, can shoot, kind of gives you a little bit of hard-nosed, I don't know.
Who'd you take?
Rasheer Fleming. Like, that's,
Okay.
yeah. There's teams.
Hustle, Rasheer Fleming.
Yeah. There's teams that Is your audio feed getting delayed? You should leave and rejoin, Eric, because I think it's like, for some reason, Discord gets more and more delayed. We're sure Fleming should go much higher than this.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, for me, with the teams I was picking with, didn't really make sense. Yeah, Arrow, can you leave and rejoin again? Because I think it will fix the delay. I think we have a delay right now.
Arrow or me?
Arrow.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking to you through Skype. So,
Yeah.
All right. Invite to speak for Arrow. All right. Cool.
Better?
Yeah, it should be better. All right. So I'm at 40. I got Washington. Man, oh man. I feel like I'm forgetting someone because I was probably just gonna finally take.
I got Flag and Sar.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Seems like their type of player. I'm gonna take Miles Bird. All right, 41. Eric, it's your turn to follow me up. You got Washington as well. What is with this draft order, man? These teams with back-to-back picks, it's crazy.
All right. Scroll back to the top. Think Bob Carrington's obviously a bit of a combo guard, so I feel comfortable taking another kind of combo guard here, and I'm going to take Cooper Flagg's teammate Tyrese Proctor.
All right, Proctor. Okay, 42 is San Antonio for Arrow. They've already taken Boogie Flan, Noah Sangwe, and Rasheer Fleming.
Man, I feel like this is some deja vu here.
Yeah.
Just here. I'm gonna go with a guy. Actually, hold on. I don't think he's been taken. Can you scroll through like the?
Just say the
players
name,
that
I'll
have
let
been
you know if
taken
he's been
real quick?
taken.
Okay. Oh no, I see him. John I. Broom.
Alrighty. Broom. Could be an interesting fit with Wemby. Alright, OKC 43. They took Newell, Dinkpate, Knipple. I mean, upside here is like pretty much all they would really swing for. Can you find any upside here? Also, maybe a stash guy, so I'm looking at 2 international prospects. I'm going to take... Where's he at? I'm going to take Bogoljub Markovic. Actually, wait. I just remembered a guy. Nah. I'll take Markovic because they would probably want to stash a guy. So, all right, yeah, that's who I'm going to take. 44 Chicago.
Bogoljub. All right, they took Malawak earlier.
By the way, a lot of the tall European guys now, like, all of them can shoot and dribble and, like, are intriguing.
Flashbacks to. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good.
I'm just drafting on value here. I'm going to take Junie Mobley. John Mobley.
All right. 45 Washington for Arrow.
There's a guy I like who keeps falling because I don't think it's the right team to take him, and I'm just gonna bite the bullet and say that even though this team is terrible, they have a lot to do before they're actually gonna be competitive. I'm gonna take Caravan here, just because he can play a role, and that's kind of important sometimes on rebuilding teams. Is just having a guy you can kick out to and he can take a shot and maybe make it.
Got you. 46. Golden State. They could use some center depth. They could use a center that can maybe shoot, has some size. I feel like I need to watch this guy a little bit more, but from what I've seen, he seems underrated. I'm going to take Maxime Reynaud from Stanford. All right, 47 is Atlanta.
All right. So they took Fallon with the first pick. Once again, I'm just drafting based on who I think is best for this team. At this point of the draft, I think late 40s, getting this guy. He's starting to play like he did last year a little bit lately. That's Hunter Salas.
All right, Salas. 48 is Cleveland.
All right. Elizabeth Allen has been begging us to take this player, and I think he makes some sense here. It's going to be Ryan Kalkbrenner. I think they don't really need a whole lot of center depth, but like if one of their two big front court guys go down, it's not a bad backup piece to have.
Yeah, especially with this late of a pick, to have somebody that could step in. Makes sense. All right, 49. The Lakers, they have some guys that can shoot. They could maybe look for like a defensive piece. I'm going to go Drake Powell, 3-and-D prospect. Probably should go a little higher than this, but I like that for LA. All right, 50, we got Indiana. They took Joe Sanson-Non with the 17th pick.
All right. I am going to stay in their backyard here and just take Mackenzie Mbaka.
Alrighty. 51 is the Lakers. They just took Drake Powell.
All right.
Bryce James.
There's a guy I kind of like here. He's interesting. He could be like the next, I would say, Draymond, kind of, not really, but I'm gonna go with JoJo Tugler. He just is a really interesting defensive prospect for me.
JoJo Tugler. All right. JoJo.
Say that like that again, Tori.
JoJo Tugler. What? How dare you mock his name?
Who the hell is this dude?
He's not on here. This is definitely who been like put him on type of guy right here.
Yeah, but I looked into him. He's like an interesting defensive prospect. He's got an insane block percentage.
Yeah, how tall is he?
He's like 6'8".
6'8" center. They could use a center.
Yeah.
I'll just Mohammed Faye is who we'll do.
Let's see.
We'll do Mohammed Faye for JoJo Tugler.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up is Orlando. They took Traore and Sorber. I think you could go stash here, and this guy is intriguing, and some people think he's a first-round talent, and he can shoot. I'm going to go Michael Ruzic. All right, 54 is Charlotte.
All right. Trying to find. He was on here. Ruzic.
Michael Ruzic? Yeah, definitely.
Oh, there he is. There he is. All right.
All right, Charlotte took Ace Bailey, Zvonimir Visic, and Nick Clifford.
All
I
right.
have
So
Dallas.
they already got through.
No, I'm at.
This is
wait,
Eric.
I'm at
Oh
Dallas.
shit.
Oh,
Damn
and there's the curse word. Oh, he's
Wow,
spiraling.
Arrowmancer. Jeez.
He's spiraling. You almost made it through a whole
Wow,
mock draft,
Arrow.
but
Almost. It was
Unmodded.
close. It was close.
Yeah.
all right. Who you taking at 54?
53.
Why
Or
did it take
53.
2 players again? All right, 53. That's probably why you got confused, because it took
Yeah.
2 players. 53 is Dallas.
All right, I'm just gonna. Oh. I don't like this player for a lot of teams, but this is kind of an intriguing fit for me. I'm gonna take Baba Miller.
Baba Miller?
Yeah.
How's he doing this year?
He's all right. He transferred to Florida Atlantic.
Yeah. That's like fell off radars.
Yeah.
Interesting. Should have went to Gonzaga. Would be in the league by now. All right,
Yeah.
Aaron.
Sure. Now you're up with the Hornets.
Yeah, now you're up with the Hornets.
With the Hornets, man, oh man. Okay, I think they're gonna go with the guy that they can potentially draft and stash. I may honestly just be showing my ignorance here, but he's from France. That's gonna be Noah Penda.
No, and yeah, some people think he's first round guy. I need to look more into him. Really good defender. Not sure what he is offensively. All right, and then didn't one of the Knicks picks get forfeited?
Uh,
Yeah,
Let's just
the
pick.
56
Just-
pick. Okay, I checked it. We're already good. All right, right here, I am going to take. He's not on the board. I think it makes sense as somebody that could maybe be a sneaky guy, like really good role player, shoots the ball really well, passes the ball, plays some okay defense. Just seems like he'll probably go undrafted and end up being a role player, one of those guys. But I'm going to take him 55 here for New York. I'm going to take Max Shulga.
Nice.
All right, 56 was forfeited. We can do whoever Sam Walters is. All right.
What?
Oh, you like? Is that your guy, Sam
No.
Walters?
No. And then 56 is forfeited.
Yeah. So you got 57.
Tyon Grant Foster.
Wow, you're gonna do Tyon Grant Foster?
No, I'm saying for the forfeited pick.
No, I mean you're gonna say him for the forfeited pick. I'm insulted.
Yeah.
He's been so bad this year. What happened? All right, 57. We got Memphis.
All right.
They took Ian Jackson at 25.
Yeah. I think this guy kind of fits. I'm gonna take Kwame Evans.
Kwame.
Not gonna say it.
What were you gonna say?
I'm not gonna say it. You'll
Well,
never
then-
find out.
Then don't say you're not gonna say it. Just don't even let us know.
Jeez,
It's
Era.
too late.
All right.
My pick though, right?
Yeah, 58 drafted 2 guys again. 58 is Orlando. They took Traore, Sorber, and Ruzic.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna go with a guy who is putting up comparable numbers to a late first round pick this year on the same team, and that is Chaz Lanier. He's kind of comparable in numbers to the Lakers' very own Dalton Connect, which makes some interesting value here.
He's not on their board. Yeah, weird college path. He like barely played for 3 years and then like went from averaging 4 points per game to 19. So basically, he's me if I kept playing college basketball.
Basically.
You could have been mock drafting me. Damn. Anyway. All right. We'll do, they really need to update this. All right. We can do, freaking, all right. We'll do St. Thomas. I ain't taking him with my next pick. So this is Chaz Lanier. I wish they'd give us like we could enter in a name. That would be a cool feature to have. All right.
Mm-hmm.
At 59, you got Houston. They have a ton of depth, but what they could use is maybe the best shooter in college and by far the best shooter in the draft. It's always a good role to have is like a 10th, 11th man. And this guy is an insane shooter. Insane shooter. Will immediately be like maybe a top 15, 20 shooter in the league from day one. And that is Kobe Brea. He's shooting like 52% from three. And is 6'7". All right. 60, we got Cleveland. Eric gets the last pick. Ryan Kalkbrenner was taken at 48.
Why did I not find it?
I don't know who you're looking for. Who
Your
taking?
guy.
My guy.
Who'd you take?
Kobe Bryant. He was like 91 for me. I mean, we're at 60 anyway, so.
Oh, there we go. It was K.
Yeah.
I was looking for C for some reason.
Yeah,
Idiot.
Alrighty, 60, last pick of the draft. We got Cleveland.
All
There's
right.
a couple of guys out here that I'm surprised are still here.
Yeah. I am just going to oh man.
Corey really wants to go with a certain player right here.
Yeah. Arrow, thanks for doing this with us. It was fun to have you on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The last pick is the longest. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stash Hanson Yang.
All right. Cool.
Screw it.
Bet. All right. There's our mock draft. I forgot to put a note on Aaron Scott, but that is Andrej Stojakovic. So Flag, Harper, Bailey, Akachonis, Edge come at 5 to Toronto, Trey Johnson, Derek Queen to the Blazers at 7. Jeremiah Fears, Asa Newell, come on, Malawach. What are some of like the biggest surprises from this mock draft, Eric? Are there any?
I think you're taking Dink Pate. It's
Isn't it Dink Pate?
I don't know, whatever it is. 16. I think that was surprising.
Isn't that an OKC guy though? Like
maybe, but
like they move on from Usman Shake and basically take
like who they get at
player.
Who they get at 21?
Let's see here. Knipple.
Yeah, I could see those two being flipped maybe, but yeah, I think 16 was pretty.
I don't know, like 6'8" and can handle athlete. Like I just have a feeling like he's one of those guys that by draft time we're talking about like he could rise to like 17, 18, 19.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Just because he's just intriguing combination. I think
I'll just say,
go ahead.
For me, I thought it was interesting that we had a lot of big men that kind of got moved around. Like I was talking about Sorber and Danny Wolf in the same breath, and then I think Danny Wolf went like 10 picks later than Sorber,
Yeah,
or like
7. He went
6
31.
or something.
Sorber was at 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
you took
I like
Zikarsky over.
Sikorsky at 27. Yeah, I mean, he's an interesting prospect. Like if you watch him play, like you can see the vision, and then if
Yeah.
you look at his stats, you're like, what the fuck is or shit.
Oh, you just corrected a
Got
curse
arrow
word with
answers.
another curse
Jeez.
word. You are
Wow.
not made
What
for
is this
radio.
guy?
You're not
Oh,
made for
no,
yeah.
man.
Oh, shame,
I can't
shame,
turn it off.
shame.
I can't.
Wow, he can't control his words. Chat, did you hear that?
We're talking about NBA draft prospects.
know.
There's no need to curse
Uh,
answer. Jeez.
Yeah,
Control
but
yourself.
yet here we are.
This is the Reddit coming out of him since he spends time on Reddit. This is what we get. So
Nah, Reddit wouldn't come on here and curse.
Trevin says
just be mad at
nobody's
you for
watching
talking
anymore
about
anyway. Just insulting the
Yeah.
144 people watching.
nobody except for 144 people are watching, and 144 people are now having to wash their ears because of the words that you uttered, Arrow. So,
Well, if you're an adult and you like the stream, leave a like.
if you're anyone and like the stream, leave a like.
But I'm sure some kids would like hearing some cuss words.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we're off the rails, but yeah.
Well, if you were a kid, you wouldn't hear me because you'd have
Would you guys
plugged
have-
your ears by now.
Who
But
would you have guys gone at for 7 for Blazers really quick, and then we're ending the stream?
Jeremiah Fears.
I don't like that at all. He started to struggle.
I still like Yegor. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Queen. I might have taken Queen too. I don't know.
It's a tough spot to pick
Queen
from.
is a
Yeah.
good
Just-
prospect.
I almost took Asa
Please.
Newell.
Please don't fall. Can we please just move up so we don't have this effing problem?
Effing good job. That's how you
Well
censor
done, Eric.
yourself, Arrow. I almost took Newell at 7. It just felt a little high.
Yeah.
He's been playing well though.
Big measurements between him and Queen will be interesting, and then of course how they
Yeah.
play the rest of the year.
I think Newell's
Yeah.
safer. I think Queen is like boom or bust. So, yeah. If the Blazers needed a guard, it'd be between Cam Jones and Fears. For me, I do like that Cam Jones went lottery though.
I
He
really like
belongs in
Cam
the-
Jones at 12
Yeah, he belongs in the lottery
for the
sure.
Kings. That's such a great fit.
Yeah. He'll be. I have a feeling he's going to be a top 10 player from the draft, man. Anyway, that is our mock draft. We will save this. You can view this on our Fanspo profile. All right. Blazers Uprise is the profile. So you can go and view it there. Just remember that Aaron Scott is Andrej Stojakovic. I wish I could add a note after the fact. I saw Eric Olsen come here and say, they took Aaron Scott at 20. Like, no, it's just a placeholder because they don't have Stojakovic on here, unfortunately. Yeah, averaging 8 points a
It's
game.
Aaron
Shooting 40%.
Aaron Scott Yakovich.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's a wrap. Thank you for participating, Arrow. We're going to do our
Thanks, Arrow.
goodbye. Have a good night.
Yep. Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Arrow. Thanks for cussing 3 times.
Yeah, good job.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you to Arrow for participating. Once again, the Blazers lose tonight. Scoot drops a career-high 39 points. If you're just joining the stream, we had a really good conversation about him, and we had a really good conversation about DeAndre Aon, too. So that was the theme of tonight.
Love
Scoot-
having to have those conversations.
Honestly,
Jeez.
I do. There is a part of me that likes when he gives me a reason to just be mad at him. Like, you know, like in a...
They gave you a reason to that.
Yeah. So, but tell 2 different players. You got Scoot, 39 points, raising his 3-point percentage from 29.9% to 34.2%. 34.2. He might be an average shooter in a couple games, percentage-wise. So, yeah, we were wondering, like, can he ever become a solid three-point shooter? He might be there in 2 games. Who knows? So we'll see how he follows up this performance. But like, you gotta start starting him at some point in the future. But how do you make that work? Like, I don't know. I just, games like this, I just feel like when he's given the freedom and given the keys, he plays better. But who doesn't need freedom is. I'm not gonna make that joke. All right, just get rid of Aiden. Let him. He shouldn't show up to games. He should just stay at home playing video games.
Yeah, he should be given freedom to not play on the team. Yeah.
Anyway, any final words, Eric?
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Have a good night. Good night.
Good night. We'll be live again on Thursday with 2 streams. One before the game on our second channel, picks against the spread. All right, and then we'll have the post-game show after the Blazers take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Another home game, another 7 p.m. tip-off times. We'll be live again at about 9:30, maybe 9:35 for that post-game show. And it's a charity night, so you'll be able to donate to a charity that we choose. And there's not much that goes into that more than that, so maybe we'll have time to get to more of your questions, dive in a little bit more on the team. So hopefully you can join us for that post-game show. Otherwise, have a good rest of your week. Look forward to catching you next. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the post-game show. We got like 3 weeks until the deadline. Yeah, 3 weeks and a day until the deadline. We'll have a live stream for that. So put that on your calendar. February 6th on Thursday morning. We will be live, and you should definitely tune into that live stream, and we'll see if the Blazers do anything. The Blazers did something tonight. They moved up in the lottery standings, and they lost to the Nets despite Scoot trying to carry this team to a win. Perfect tank game. Anyway, we'll catch you next time. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers!